And wait for it. And you're all live. I need to figure out why that's happening. Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. It is the Foxhole Fridays, and you are here with us for the Gamblers, our Traveler Pirates of Drinax campaign. And I hope all of you are doing well. And I hope you cannot see all of the many tabs and PDFs that are on my third monitor or the second monitor. Really, you know what? Don't even look. It's don't look over here. I am troopersjp, and I will be your facilitator for today. I'm so happy all of you are here. I've got a great crew of folks, and we've got excitement. But I will say, thank you for being here. If you would like to support us, because all sorts of things need support, the best thing you can do is actually just be here and watch the show, either live or on YouTube. If you're on the YouTube, give a comment, like, subscribe, comment, and read it out. You can also tell your friends that we are live. You can re-skeet our skeet. You can tell people near and far, far and wide. And let's see. Boop. Okay. And those are all the things you can do. You can also, if you would like, give us tips and bits, and those tips and bits, if you leave a message, I'll read them out at the end. And they will go to pay for the cast. And if there's anything left over before it goes to me, it'll go for art commissions and things like that. Let's see, what else? Yes, you can. We also have a Patreon, and that Patreon, it's like $3. And when I get my after action report written, you'll be able to see it. Although people who are not Patrons can also see it. I just have to wait till I finish giving this talk on Harvard on Tuesday, and then I will be able to get it to you all. And also we have a special $200 tier, which is our sponsor tier. It's limited to only 4 people, and $200 will pay for a cast of 4 people for 1 week for one show. And if you are one of our sponsors, then you get a special ad, a radio ad that will play during the break, and a special spot in the credits, and a shout out. And the shout out is happening right now. We have one sponsor, that is Will and TW, who is really one of the most amazing people ever, without whom I'm not quite certain what I would do, because his note-taking has been exemplary and much welcomed. So before we start today with our adventures, 2 things. 1, I know that I said that we would head off to Torpole today, and we may still, I cannot say. However, we have a couple of things left to do on Drinax before we go. They just don't want to leave the planet. It's fine. But we're going to go and do a couple more things on Drinax, and then we have a couple of things that are important to do. And that's the first one, I think. That's the right. So we're going to have a couple of, the princess has some things going on. There's some stuff happening. So, all of that said, without further ado, let me introduce some of the best players one could ever hope to share a table with. The amazing crew. If you could say who you are and who you are playing. Yes. Let's start with Myth.
Hello, hi everybody, it's me, Mythematic. We are excited to play today. I have been struggling with my costume ever since I joined the call about a half an hour ago. So you've sort of thrown me off. But
sorry.
That's okay, here I am, it's me. I'm playing Admiral Baron Severence. He's sort of a piece of shit, but he's I don't know, he's a recovering piece of shit. He's like a renegade clone. He was hidden from our big Imperial boogeyman villain guy for years in his entire life. And now he's sort of faked it until he maked it, because he is now an admiral. So that's pretty sweet, though he has no like real background besides surviving very well on the planet. But that's me. That's Severance. And I'm going to try to figure out this costume a bit more. I'm very happy to be here, excited. Thank you for having me.
Alrighty. Next up, Laughlovelindy. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, 'tis I, Laughlovelindy, and I am playing Quint Vesper, former Soleimani spy, former Cirque du Soleimani member, and now Knight of Drinax.
Everything's going swimmingly if you're a spy.
Yes, I guess that's the case. Yes,
They're believing it up until now.
That's
Not
right. I mean,
a spy. Literally proven, not a spy.
well, I mean, former spy, I guess. Next up, of
Ex-spy.
course, ex-spy.
Thank you.
Next up
Thank you.
is
Confirmation.
Ari Ventures. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Ari_Ventures, and I'm playing Terrica. They, for the longest time, have rejected their nobility until literally last episode, where they stepped into their birthright and, in addition to being a pilot, have accepted the role of liege.
Leader of one of the most important houses on Drinax, with a history all the way back to the ancient Sandalian Empire. And last but not least, of course, would be warpreactor. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, everybody. My name's Greg, Warp Reactor over on YouTube, and tonight I'll be playing Dr. Valentine Morrissey, healer extraordinaire, not at all a killer, and somebody whose life has gotten progressively better over the last season. So, season and a half, I guess. So it's nice. It's great to be here. Greg is personally very happy to be back with the Foxhole Friday, because this is my safe spot. Because when I'm not here, I have to work, and work sucks. So they can't get me here. Knock on wood. Friends, thank you
Except
for
for that
being
one
here.
time.
Except for that one time. I was really pissed over Halloween. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for joining us as we do these great adventures under the fantastic game mastering of Trooper. Friends, let's tell a good tale tonight.
Alrighty then.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. So, when last we left off, it was the day 165-1105, Imperial. Also, Mahogany 2 from the year 19,052 on Drinax. And our crew had their investiture. There was a lot going on, and they were all preparing to leave Drinax, to take off, to go to Torpal. And on this day, there are so many things. There are dukes and so much. But all of that said, at this moment, this ship is preparing to take off. There are not that many ships on the floating palace, because there are not that many docks on the floating palace. But this one ship is on its way to head out and, do some adventures. There are a number of things to be thought about, a number of things to, they have someone to pick up on Torpal. They've got to go and do some investigation about some pirate attacks. There is also a treasure perhaps to pick up. There is so much that they have waiting for them as they plan to go off into the great beyond. And as we speak, I believe everyone is currently on the ship, the Gambler. There might be some of you might be like getting some last minute things, but I believe everyone is on their way. Also, I believe you've got some, grebes to drop off, right? It's a little bit of a last minute things to do on the ship before you leave. So I believe there is Severence, there's Terrica, there is Val, Quint, Wesley, Malcolm Brace. I believe those are all. You do actually have a couple of logistical things you haven't done yet, as it turns out. You have the Elaine, your other ship, and you have a pilot for that ship. You would need an engineer. You haven't given that ship a mission yet, so if that one's going to go off somewhere, you would probably have to let it know what to do. You've got to drop off the grebes. I mean, most things are just like right on the way out. And I believe I will have you all up on the bridge. The whole crew up on the bridge, except for Wesley, who's down in engineering, where, he hangs out quite a bit. Malcolm will be sitting on the turret, one of the turrets. Not quite like this is his first time going into space, so he's a little bit nervous. He's never been in outer space before. But everyone's getting ready, doing all of your pre-flight checks. You're gonna have to, talk to the flight control, make sure everything is copacetic. I will leave it to you before you have I'm gonna let you have some chat before you contact flight control, air traffic control, your dock control. But whenever you do, I imagine that'll be either Val or, well, one of y'all are gonna have to contact air traffic control to get permission to leave. But I'll let you chat before you do that.
Is Severence on the bridge? Because
Everyone's on the bridge except
Yes.
for.
perfect. Yeah.
I just don't know what happened to my camera.
I'm seeing Snapchat filters. Yep.
No, it's not. No, I actually removed my eyebrows for this show and I put them
Oh,
on. So
nice.
it's not. I don't know why it says snap cam.
Oh,
What's
weird.
that there for? What is happening?
I was
Anyway.
asking because, I think Terrica would talk to Severance about the need to. They'd say something to the effect of oh shoot, Trooper, would you remind me of the name of the guy that Terrica talked to from Torpal who was complaining about the pirates?
Oh, that was your ooh. What is going on over there?
Don't worry
Very
about it.
exciting.
Don't worry about it.
Sure. That was one of the big traders. Give me a moment. I gave that name to Willen. So I'm going to just look. And that person's name was.
I'm double checking too, just in case I wrote it somewhere in my notes.
Cracks. Trader
Cracks.
Cracks.
There we go.
Let's get the cracks.
Not to be good for.
Heyo.
You never mind. You beat me to it. The punchline's cock, everybody. For those of you in chat who are like,
There's a lot
why
of
are they
caulk
laughing?
talk
It's-
in the
it's
green screen.
So much.
Green room.
a lot of pre-show cock happening.
Yes.
A lot of cock in the green room. A lot.
Just talk in the
You
green room.
know,
Caulk. Yes.
Coke.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just all the cock you need.
No one
Yeah.
pronounced it like that.
No, no one does.
Kid
You were
yourself.
saying.
Terrica would just say, "Oh my goodness!" And Cracks, was that his name? Now I have
name's
Culk in
Cock.
my head. I was talking to Culk.
Uh-huh. So are we.
You're talking
Ayo.
about cock. Two cracks. Go ahead.
That's right.
I think as Terrica's teeing up everything, they would say, "I was talking to Cracks. He's from Torpal, and they're still having a huge problem with the pirates out there. So
Oh, boy.
I think, well, I was thinking it's something we could solve on our way out. We'll need a week anyway for everything, so might as well take some time while we're there to take care of this for them. Plus,
Well-
it would be great for the Drinax." What?
Bring up the nav map if you would.
And they'll pop it up.
And I'm going to do that as well on my screen because I need it.
And I will take all of you all over to the map itself.
And I'm going to log into the Roll20.
Oh, because it's right there, but you know.
I know, I forgot.
There is,
I
by
was
the
working
way,
on my costume.
cock? What?
Yeah, my
there's-
costume. I was a costume.
Oh, so sorry.
Costume?
My costume.
There is a very large reward because both Torpal and Clark were attacked by these pirates. The actual planets,
say
not
Clark?
their high ports. Yes, Torpal and Blue. Pardon me. Torpal and Blue were both attacked.
Wait, not Clark? Because I thought it was Clark, but if it's
Yeah,
not
no, I
Clark,
think it is
that kind
Clark.
of says something.
Waits for punchline.
Wait. It's the psychopomps of. Give me one moment. Talk amongst yourself.
What
I
about
need to
having
pull up
two
my-
blue balls right beside each other?
There we are. Yes,
What?
perfect.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Oh my
Not
goodness.
a Clark Tark. Yeah, up in here. All right, I really gotta log in.
Give me one moment. It's right over here. talk amongst yourselves while I pull up the page
Very
for you.
well. Am I? This is me talking amongst. None of us are talking amongst ourselves.
Or we
Yes,
don't.
I was like,
I'll do it. I'm still logging in,
terrible
so
business
this takes
there.
all of my brain power to do that. So I'm
Stare
gonna keep
ominously
doing
into the
that.
camera.
Torpal
Troopers
is
like,
our
players,
next
could you buy
stop.
some time?
It's Clark. It's Clark.
It is
Fill the
Clark.
dead air. You got it.
Yeah. It's the psychopomps of Clark and the traders
Yes.
of Torpal.
Okay, perfect. So it is side by side. It's not like they were jumping over a planet randomly. Cool. Makes a difference.
And
Torpal
the
is where we're
bounty,
headed next.
Yes.
Torpal, which is a pretty big trading planet, is offering 2 million credits as their bounty, and
that's
Clark
easy.
is
That's
half
one
a
jump.
million.
Yeah. All right. I was thinking I was getting Torpal mixed with Thebes. Okay. Great. So that's so that we could swing into Torpal and get rid of the banditry in the name of Drinax on our way through. Easy. Peasy.
Exactly. And especially if we pick up Kareem on the way there, if she's still waiting, then
Oh,
that's one
yes.
more person who can help with that.
Right. Kareem. Yes, we could do that. And where is Kareem waiting for us? The space station, I assume.
On the high port.
Yes, very well.
Terrica would look over at Quint as they say that. Like, on the high port?
It should be on the high port, yes. That is where we left her. I doubt she went planet side on Torpal.
And what was she doing there again?
Well, it was my fault.
Everyone.
Well, it was a very rough trip back, and
Oh yes, right.
she believes that I was taking drugs the entire way. For the record, I wasn't. It was withdrawal, though, so, you know. Anyway, Quint was able to talk her into at least considering to wait for a while, so
Right.
we could potentially get her back. That's the point.
Very well. So, yeah, I guess we'll head to Torpal, talk to her, and make our way through. I mean, it's very simple, easy.
And once you have her, then we can. Oh my goodness.
What?
I think I've made my point.
Yes, I thought so. I mean, is there more of a point?
No,
Maybe.
no. I just unless anybody else says anything, Terrica will reach to call to go to lift off.
Drinaxian space control. Yes?
Yes, this is Terrica requesting permission to depart en route
Of the
to
Gambler.
Torpal. Yes.
Yes. One moment, please. We'll give you those clearance codes in just one moment.
Thank you.
It's an older code, but it checks,
checks
out. I was
out.
just about to.
Now, I will note, I would love to know if you had given the Elaine orders yet. Oh, I'm so sorry. The call's back on. That's a thing for you to think about. But the voice on the other end goes, I'm sorry, Liege Terrica. You are not authorized to leave the floating palace just as of yet.
What? Who is stopping the gambler?
The princess, Her Royal Highness, is on her way up to the floating palace from the surface of Drinax and has called in saying that the gambler should not leave until she has a chance to speak with the crew. I'm sure you understand.
How far away is her ship?
She should be here in a few hours, perhaps 2 or 3.
Thank you.
Yes, Liege Terrica.
Hey, did
it
she
will only be-
leave? Did she leave any indication what she wanted to talk to us about?
No, she just called in and said that the gambler was not authorized to leave the floating palace until she returned.
Okay. Terrica, is this the same voice that Terrica was talking to before?
Different voice. Shift
Different
change.
voice. Oh, okay. But does Terrica know this person?
I mean, look, it's the floating palace. Everybody knows everybody. If you live there for any length of time, you're going to know basic. Like there might be. I mean, I can't imagine there's hardly anyone you don't know if you've lived here for like a decade. There's only. I mean, there might be some people that you don't know personally, but you know somebody who knows somebody because there's only 50,000 people who live here. So it is a very small incestuous community. Is all I'm saying. It's,
So Terrica could absolutely say like, "Thanks so much, Clarice. I appreciate your." Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, especially
then
if
that's
you're a
what they
pilot.
say.
Like, you may not know some random people who are working in... No, you might know people in botany, but there might be some random people that you don't know, but I'm just going to say that, like, if you've been here any length of time, you're probably going to know most people. You know what I mean? At least,
Okay.
if not personally, then yeah. Well, of course. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. It was a last-minute call, and it seemed important.
No, I appreciate you letting us know. By the way, where's the pilot of the Elaine? Has he checked in recently?
Well, he's still waiting on the Elaine for orders from the Admiral, I assume.
Thank you so much, Clarice. Have a lovely
Of
rest
course.
of your afternoon. I'll see you later.
Oh, thank you. 4 more hours.
Oh, good luck.
Thank you.
You've got a book, right?
Well, I do have the newest Crash Jones has just come in. I'm sort of excited for it. It came in, I got it from Brachondo. It was quite expensive.
Terrica,
Yes, they usually are. What?
what's the word?
What? It's boring. Oh, sorry. All right. Good luck, Clarice. Enjoy Crash Jones.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk again in 4 hours.
All right.
Terrica clicks it off, and they're like, Princess Rao needs to talk to us for some reason. She'll be up here in 4 hours. Also,
2 probably. Clarice is
don't-
getting off shift in about 4 hours.
in 4 hours.
Right.
Oh, okay. But Princess Rao will
princess
be
will
here
be
in,
there about
in a
2.
couple.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The princess will be here in a couple of hours. Turns out the pilot's still waiting for your orders, though. Severance, the pilot of the Elaine.
Oh, Colin
Yeah, I mean, we
Golden.
could.
Gaggle.
I don't know. I didn't fly with you. Literally flew with him for multiple months.
Right, I know.
How
Just-
did
well,
you
I
not
would say
learn his
pilot,
name?
and he was very good at saying yes. So I just figured it was okay. I think it's Golan, I believe it is. Anyway, yes. I should radio him.
You know, if we get a jump, someone who can handle the jump drive, we could potentially have the Elaine going on runs.
Right, which we should be doing. And when it runs for what?
Well, could bring back more goods to Drinax. Could be.
Don't we need to send an engineer to number 1?
To be able to.
there
That's a good
is.
point.
To get
All
that
right.
diplomacy on the roll, like a diplomat
We
and an
got
engineer.
this quest board right
Yeah.
here.
So they can start on the TIE port.
That is something that we could get that going here. Or number 1. Yes, right. Yes, I had to remember which one was number 1. Yes. All right.
Yeah, the planet with the nobles who think they're in charge.
With the child leader and the lost
Yes,
boys.
the ice cream. Oh,
Right,
the ice
Yes,
cream.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And the golden palace that I've promised them. Right, yes.
Not the Golden Palace, the High Port. Just a High Port.
Yeah,
A
we
very
didn't
fancy High
promise
Port.
them a golden
made
palace.
of gold, made of gold. Oh, no, right. No, you're right. No, I didn't. It wasn't. We were going to buy it with our gold. Anyway, there's still going to be gold put
Yes.
into it. Right. Okay,
So
great.
we could just get an engineer from I could go and we've got 2 hours now. I could go and see if
An
someone's
engineer
interested in
should
doing
be able
that.
to work the jump drive too.
Yeah,
Ours?
good point. The Elaine.
The Elaine's jump drive.
Wait, out of character. I've been
Who's on
assuming this
first?
entire time that Wesley would be working the jump drive for the Gambler.
For our ship, yes.
Is that a
it's for the
safe
Elaine.
assumption?
It's for the Elaine. Yeah. For
Yes.
the Elaine, they need an engineer
Okay.
to do. They need someone to do the jump drive on the Elaine. We have got Wesley on our ship.
Yeah.
So we need to hire someone.
One note: if you bring the engineer on the Elaine over to number 1, then they won't be able to leave, because if they drop the engineer off to go and do the work on the high port.
Right.
Send a diplomat with them as well, probably just to help negotiate.
Or
there's
two
only room
engineers.
for 3 on board. But if we, I would. Well, okay. Can Terrica do I need to roll diplomacy or something to try and identify somebody on Drinax who has both got the engineering savvy to help them build a spaceport and the diplomacy to navigate that world?
So I will note you what the Elaine carries 3, if I remember correctly, right? It's the Elaine
Where's
carries
the
3.
sheet for that?
That would be under deck plans. I can take you.
So here is my thought: we get an
Thank
engineer
you.
for the jump drive, and then we get someone who has the ability to help them build the high port and be a diplomat, same person as the third.
And have an empty space.
It's a fabulous
Have
idea.
an empty space.
Just need
No,
3.
there's
It can fit 3.
It can fit 3.
So
That is 3
Gollin?
people. So Gollin,
Engineer,
and
diplomat.
then
diplomat engineer.
that's all 3 people.
Because you're going to need an engineer to come back with you. So you'll need basically 2 engineers.
2 engineers.
drop
Okay.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
One who's got a bit more
for the jump drive.
diplomacy, and then one who's got
for
a
the
bit
ship,
more.
and then one for the
Okay.
station.
Exactly.
Cool.
Right.
Then yes.
Right, because there are 2 standard staterooms on that ship. One for both the pilot and the engineer, and one for the rich person who gets to be in their own room by themselves. So I suppose technically you could fit 4 people in there if they didn't mind having bunk beds. But
There's a lot of couples. We could send a couple to number 1 if there's an engineer couple who's got a diplomatic spouse.
What we're trying to do though is we're trying to do the thing where whoever the jump drive engineer is, they stay on the Elaine so that the Elaine drops off the person,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
our pilot and the so
I'm saying if we could get a diplomatic engineer couple to leave on number 1,
oh, I see
True.
what
they
you're
could
saying.
share the suite,
Well, everyone's
and then
talking.
also they won't be alone on
That's a good point.
number 1.
While everyone's talking, Val has been going through the Drinaxian version of LinkedIn.
Yes.
And he is pulling up exactly what they need. Do you need me to make a roll?
yes. I'm going to need a roll. Now, I will note that there are, right here, there's a table that I have printed out. This table, whenever
Nice.
you go to whenever you're at a place, if you want to recruit people, like new engineers or whomever, there's a number. Or whenever you show up, if you want to get protection, there's also a number. If people might be spying on you, there's a number. Or if you might be arrested, there's a number for that. How much money you can get, how much money, how much the fence, fencing, how much the fence will give you. And it's based on how much that planet likes you. So there are some planets where you will get, if you're fencing illegal goods, you will, first off, someone won't actually you won't be able to find a fence, or you only get 10% of the main amount. But for Drinax, which is a planet that really likes you very much, to recruit what you need to roll a 3 or higher. That is what you need, a 3 or higher. Well, it depends on how you're doing it. If you're going through LinkedIn, that would be admin.
Admin? Okay.
Oh, if only we had a person who could do that.
I've got admin.
I didn't tell anybody, so I'm rolling.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, do I get any bonus? Boom.
It would be intellect, I would say, right? Because you can do either.
Sure.
It's probably intellect at this moment, and you have a boon because this is basically your home planet and base of operations.
Okay.
And I would need
9.
Hey.
Nice.
absolutely. You can recruit an engineer for the ship, as well as this pair of diplomat engineer to be dropped off on number 1. No problem.
Val's sitting there with his feet up on the right beside the counter, right by like the general kind of like local interface computer station. He's making shit up. And he would just say, as you all were talking, they'll be here in 2 hours.
Oh, who is it?
I don't know, some Drinaxian people that fit the bill. We don't have time to interview anybody. I mean, they got 5 stars.
All right, I was very excited to actually interview them, but thank you for controlling the narrative. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect. All right, so they'll be here in 2 hours, and then we have the princess is coming in 3, and then what's her name is getting off of work at 4. What else do we do?
Clarissa.
Thank you.
Just while we're tracking who's doing what.
Perfect. So I guess I will wait around for an hour.
Sue apparates.
Oh boy.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Is this
How
Sue
are
or
you
June?
all? It's June Sue, as opposed to soon. It's
Sejun?
Sejun?
All right.
Sojourner Sue?
Sujun?
Yeah. It's Sejun.
Junie Weaver.
Sejuni Weaver apparates. I'm so, how I hope that I'm not interrupting anyone here.
Not at all. What do you
I
need?
guess not.
Excellent. I just thought I'd let you know that there is someone who is waiting to speak with you all, asking permission to get onto the ship.
Who?
Oh, Yana Teak, a reporter, wanted to interview you about the assassinations. Has been waiting some time for this assassination interview.
Boy.
Oh, I did want to talk to her.
It's a good
not
thing we knew
that.
about that, or we would have taken off and burned her alive.
And no one would know because the only reporter is in flames.
Should I let them in?
Terrica will like look over at Severance.
Well, yeah, I will meet them there. I just sort of like huff and puff as I sort of leave the
I'll join you.
sphinctral doors, right? That's what we have.
Have fun talking
I
to
will-
the reporter.
I will note that the only nice place is there up in the bridge area,
Yeah,
where
right.
you have like right on the inside of the bridge, because down below is Grebes and cargo.
And a giant
But didn't
crystal, thank
we-
you.
Didn't we
We're dropping
redo
the Graves on our way out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Operation
They're
Grebo
still
drop.
there.
Yeah.
they're still there.
Terrica did put a plushie like on Severance's bed, like a little green plushie, by the way. Just it is there.
Oh, thank you. Telephone, this must have been wild. Thank you.
Would you like me to escort them up to the break area, the conference room?
Yes. And then after Terrica says this, they look over at Severance like, oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Sure.
And then Sue looks at Quint. Well, hello.
Hello?
Don't I know you from somewhere?
You sure do.
I feel like I've met you somewhere before. Are you on a... Oh, it seems as if you are on our crew manifest.
That I am.
Well, I've not seen you here before on the ship, but it's nice to see you now. My pleasure to meet you.
Nice to
Quint
meet you.
Vesper.
Yep.
Well, I swear I must have met you before, though. You seem very familiar to me. Well, I better go and get those two and bring them up here, if you'll excuse me. And Sue disapparates to go and bring the reporter up to your conference room.
When
really
Val
like
is
that.
aware that the reporter is on their way, then Val will stand up, kind of dust himself off. Well, I'm not needed here, so have fun. And he'll go to move and just kind of rest a hand on Terrica's shoulder real quick as he walks out and just smiles because he is not doing this shit.
Homie, not playing this shit.
Since we can't leave anytime soon, I'm going to go to my quarters and just organize some things.
All right. Terrica will like go and make cups of tea and have that set on the table by the time the reporter like gets up there. And they'll just be they'll have the cups of tea and they'll just be sitting.
So I want to make clear where everybody's at. Val goes to his quarters. Severence and Terrica are going to be in the conference room. Quint goes to his quarters. Malcolm Brace, who was looks to Severance and goes, where should I go? Do you want me to stay here on the bridge?
You will follow me.
Oh.
You will protect me.
Yes, sir. And Malcolm sort of gets up and comes into the conference room. You all have to pass by it because your conference room is basically just your galley. It's where you all eat.
Yep.
Basically.
Please sit down in our conference room. Would you like some paste?
Paste. And it's not too long before
Would you like a high top or a banquet?
you see these two people show up, being walked up out of the turbo lift with June Sue, and you see this woman, and she is dressed in. Would I say she's dressed like a person from the Reach? I would say she's dressed like a person who's not from the Reach, but who's trying to blend in with the locals. Sort of like a good enough, right? But as a local, you're like, we don't really wear our collars that way, but okay, right? It's like you can kind of pick up those little details. And she's got like her microphone, and next to her has got this Varger with her. And the Varger is, a little short, and the Varger has got this like holographic camera with them. And, they have got this camera because they're going to go, they're not filming yet because the interview hasn't started, but, they are sort of more in the background, just sort of waiting for everything to start. And
we're going to be filming, it looks like. Here in the galley.
Yes. Although it looks very nice. You've really improved this area, so it looks very good diplomatically. And she's got like long brown hair. She is pretty young, although maybe not as young as she looks. She's one of those kind of people that kind of looks young. And she's got like her TNS Traveler News Service sort of logo on a nice vest. And she looks, go with the idea of glamour action reporter, right? So a person who looks for those of you who know, the local news reporters in Los Angeles all look like they are models. Do you know what I mean? Like people like the local news reporters in other parts of the country don't look as glamorous as Los Angeles local news reporters. So she's got that kind of glamour of a local news reporter, but also the kind of person who likes to go in the field. So there's like a bit of a rolled up, I'm sorry, this is just what it is. Rolled up sleeves, right? That kind of mix of glamour and danger on safari sort. And she walks in and she goes, hello, I am Yana Teak, and I have been waiting to get this interview with you all for quite some time. Please, are you all ready for the interview?
No, I wasn't expecting the interview. I was expecting just to answer who was at the door.
I'm Yana Teak, Traveler News Service. You might have seen some of my stories. I cover the Dust Belt and the areas around here. It's always something exciting and interesting. I just did a bit of a. I heard there was something interesting on this planet, so I stopped by, and what did I find but an assassination? So I was hoping I could get your. Oh, I'm so sorry, Nindo. Would you, Nindo, record them?
No.
And Nindo just
No.
goes. Oh.
No, stop it. No.
We would like to actually just have a moment first to say hello
Thank you.
before we jump right into the interview.
Leave it. Leave it.
Yes, of course. Nindo, no, not yet. I'm
Yes,
so
thank you.
sorry.
Thank you.
No worries. You said that you worked in
I
the
speak
Dust Belt.
Varga.
Where have you?
Yes.
Where were you last?
Where haven't I been? You name it, I have been there. I have seen them. Well, if there's something interesting, I have been there, and I have seen it. I've traveled all around this area. Now, many people, I will say, reporters want to stay in the Imperium where it's, well, perhaps more stable news. But I find going out to where it's wild and untamed is, well, it's much more interesting. And I must say this.
What?
Well,
Sorry, did
I
you say
mean-
untamed?
Yes, the Trojan reaches, the Dust Belt, I mean, full of pirates and, well, I mean, there's a reason why, what was it, Crash Jones is set out here, the sort of the wild areas of, well, I personally find this place, it's sort of like a second home almost. I'm a big fan. And this is my first time here on Drinax, and I had no idea there was anyone still living here. But this place is
Did you say this is your second
amazing.
home, but your first time here?
Well, the Reaches is my
Oh,
second
yes, of
home.
course. Right, of course.
Right, but I am personally just so... I had no idea there was still a place here. That's amazing. And the floating palace is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't think I was going to do sort of a small story, but when there was an assassination, I thought, my timing is perfect. You all were there. I was hoping to find that there was a doctor who was there on the scene and saw everything. I was hoping to interview him.
Yes,
nonetheless.
unfortunately, he's unavailable, but it was of my parents. You said that you have been around the Dust Belt.
Yes.
Have you
I'm so
been-
sorry for your loss, by the way.
Thank you.
I was trying to be there at the big funerary rites, but they said there was no filming there, not according to tradition. But again, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Our funeral traditions are very sacred and important. There's a lot that is important here. You've seen the beauty of Drinax, and I hope that you've seen a chance to, or at least had a chance to explore the art.
Well, I have been waiting to interview you all, and I was also waiting for all of the flights have been no one was allowed in or out of the planet after the assassination. So of course I was stuck here with Nindo. I was actually hoping to get on that ship with Sal Dancet, one of the only ships left, but they left yesterday morning, so I'm looking for a ship. But I think there is a Torpol trader who might be leaving. Not many people come this way, as it turns out. Yes, I'm actually, if you don't know, I'm from Albi, which is it's here in the area. It's just right on the other side of the border, Third Imperium.
I'm aware of where it is. Where is it?
So Albi, and I think I can probably take you there. I'll take you there. And absolutely, by the way,
I'm
Severence
familiar. Where the hell is it? Oh, okay.
would be very familiar because you were the one who, like, while Terrica, they traded towards Assis, right? Severence was trading off towards the Imperium. So Albie is right here. Make a little, I think there's a way to
Oh,
focus ping. Whoop.
I'll be
nice.
I can bring you all there.
shoulder. Where? Hang one more time.
Albie.
Oh, I see it. Alb. Yeah, I see it.
Albie, which is inside the third. It's technically in the Trojan Reaches, but it's inside of the Third Imperium's territory, and it is. It's an important planet for the Third Imperium. It has an A-level starport. It's a very nice sort of a planet, and it. But it is an Imperium. So she apparently, as a reporter, makes her way to. She's like traveling this whole area of the Trojan Reaches because why wouldn't she?
The Trojan Riches.
Would you remind me of the name of the planet or the area where Terrica lost their crew again? I know it was around Assis, but was it like?
Yeah,
I thought it was in the Aslan Higher territory, and I can't remember the name of the planet.
No, it was Assis where you got attacked.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Because the Aslan sometime hang out in that space and get into wars with each other.
Yeah, no way.
In your
Two
area.
jumps away from Aqua.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make it so that our audience can see this. So right over here, this blue area, boop, right over there.
Yep.
That is the Glorious Empire, and they are at war with.
I love them.
The yellow, the Aslan Pirate.
I love them.
Are
They
you?
love
They're
slavery.
the slavers.
Oh, never
They
mind.
are the slavers.
Never mind.
They are the slavers. I will note, however, that if it weren't for the Glorious Empire, Assis never would have gotten free of Tyr, because Tyr had been basically oppressing that entire area in a pretty bad way, and just a lot because Tyr has a lot of naval ships, and they were just oppressing that whole area pretty badly. And Assis was only able to get out and escape that oppression by hiring mercenaries from the Glorious Empire. And that is one of the reasons why Assis has all sorts of Aslan coming in and out of that area all the time, and why nobody else in that area really likes them very much, because everybody's afraid of the Aslan coming in to invade and take over everything. And Assis is like, hey, Aslan, you want to trade? Because Assis, if you notice, is a really nice conduit from the Aslan Hierate right up into that space. And so a lot of Aslan ships from the Hierate will jump from Aquakia to Assis, right? So they're like they've got a lot of Aslan around, which is causing a bit of stress for people who are kind of racist against Aslan, or also just nervous about the Aslan. But what happened with Terrica's ship, with their ship, was that they were there going to be, fine when the Glorious Empire and the Aslan High were having a conflict, which should not have involved Terrica's ship. But then weirdly, some Glorious Empire ships, which, by the way, known to be mercenaries now, just happened to specifically target Terrica's ship very specifically, and then take it. And presumably kill the entire crew or sell them off to slavery, something like that. Just a whole bunch of that. Mm-hmm.
I think, because Terrica did a lot to try and find them at the time, but that's why they came back to Drinax without any resources, because they lost all of their money trying to find their crew.
Yeah.
Womp womp. Anyway,
Womp, womp.
Sorry. All of that distraction for like where the things were. Where were we?
They were talking to the reporter about like where all you have been in the Dust Belt.
They were asking about like where have you been?
Well, I mean, I've actually traveled everywhere. If you name it, I've gone up and down the entire Dust Belt. Interesting planets all over. I mean, news is the news. Well, I'd like to think of myself as being one of the only Traveler News Service reporters that actually travels this area. I mean, it is quite dangerous, what with the pirates.
Oh, very. And, there was a ship about I think it would have been a year ago, right, Trooper? Like it would have been about a year ago
Yeah.
that their ship had been taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a ship about a year ago that was taken by the Aslan Hierard out by a cease. Any chance you know anything
The
about
Glorious
that?
Empire took it.
Oh, the Glorious Empire. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. It was the Glorious Empire, the slavers, who took that ship.
There. Any chance you know anything about that? The Glorious Empire, and it was called the Avasa, if that helps.
Do you have any knowledge about where was it taken?
Oh, out by a cease.
A cease, about a year ago. That was during some of the skirmishes, I think. What happened to the ship?
It was. Well, there was a skirmish between the Aslan Hierard and the Glorious Empire, and oddly enough, the ship was targeted in the middle of that, and the entire ship and crew, save for one, were taken.
Oh,
Presumed dead,
I assume.
of course.
Well, I wouldn't presume that at all. If the Glorious Empire took them, they most likely... I mean, they might have died within the seasoning, but the Glorious Empire, if they took them, they most likely took them because they had some sort of technological skills so that they might use them as slaves, is what I would imagine. They do... You know, the Aslan are very particular about the things they can and cannot do. They have a very sort of strict sort of hierarchy. And the Glorious Empire needs soldiers to go and fight against the Hierate. Yes, but that was about a year ago, you said. Well, about a year ago at that time, most of the sort of intakes of captured people were going to a planet called Terrica. Terrica was one of the main sort of places where newly enslaved, captured people would be taken and then trained and, moved. But there's actually a bit of a problem with that at this moment, I'm afraid. Terrica was, invaded and captured by the Hierate. A number of those the Glorious Empire is losing ground quite rapidly. They're sort of collapsing as an empire. They're still trying to hold on, of course, but the Hierate has been making great grounds, and quite recently they've been able to take a number of those planets. They've encroached. So Terrica is now actually controlled by the Aslan Hierate, not the Glorious Empire. Which has actually sort of come into a bit of a problem. There is a bit of a problem, as it turns out, because the Hierate does not believe in slavery. It goes against their code. They have a very strict code of honor, and theoretically the Glorious Empire also follows it, but, the reason why the Glorious Empire is not part of the Hierate is because the Hierate does not... Well, there's been disagreements between them, of course. Now you have a planet, Terrica, with, millions of formerly enslaved people. And the Hierate does not want them on the planet, but they don't quite know what to do with them. So it's a bit of a humanitarian crisis at the moment, because all of those people have nowhere to go. They can't stay there, but they have nowhere to go.
So the Hierate might be looking for someone to help them.
Well, there's a bit of a problem, right? Because they cannot themselves... Yes. Although, actually, it's a bit... There's a lot of face to be saved. There's
of course,
captain...
I wouldn't put it that way.
Yes, no. There is a captain on Assis who is looking to run a humanitarian session. He's got a fairly large ship, and he's hoping to get people who can fly it for not that much money to help sort of pick up refugees. But the problem is they have nowhere to go. No planet really wants to take in 1 million or so refugees, former enslaved people of the glorious empire. So while the Hyatt would love to get rid of them, there are no planets in the area who are agreeing to take them, to take so many mouths of people who have been... There are some... I don't know how to put this... stereotypes of formerly enslaved people that they can't be trusted, that they've been so brainwashed that at any moment they could be... well, let's just say that there are a number... upwards of 2 million refugees who need a place to stay, but there are no planets willing to take them. And that is, there's a planet, Captain, I could give you his name, who's hoping to try to get some sort of help to try to find a planet that might take them. He might have some leads, I don't know, but
Please
he's
do.
on a cease. Yes, I can give you his name. It's a bit of a problem, I'm afraid, diplomatically, because his name is Treadwell, Captain Treadwell. Val Treadwell is his name. And he's... what?
Sorry, that's just the name of my partner, Val. Yes.
Yes, he's trying to organize some sort of relief means, although no one has helped so far.
Well, thank you for
Yes.
bringing this to my attention and answering all of these questions. I'm sure that's not why you were here.
No, I'm actually here for what happened.
Yes, well,
I will say, though, that situation on Terrica is going to... it's a bit of a powder keg, ready to blow, I'm afraid. But none of the planets in the reaches are willing to take upwards of 2 million people.
They're
I
not
don't
willing
quite
to
know.
take the responsibility. Are you?
No.
Where is this? Where is the audience for this news program?
Oh, we'll be sending it back to the Imperium.
Oh yes, wonderful.
But of course, the stories themselves are also available here in the Reaches. I am quite proud to say that the GDCO services wire will take all of these stories. So definitely, you will be seen. You will. This is not a nobody story. It will make it itself all the way through Expo, all the way into the Third Imperium.
so I didn't say this earlier, but Terrica would have set it up so that knowing that they were coming, that she was coming on for an interview, would have set it up so that the way the seats were positioned were like the best angles to capture like the
Nice.
opulence of
Nice.
the area, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Your ship on the outside looks somewhat damaged, but inside it is absolutely amazing. Is that oak or teak?
It is. No, it's well,
Oh.
it's oak, but the inlay is teak.
Oh, that's amazing. So
Isn't
do you
it?
mind if I start
wonderful.
recording so we could...
Our
talk about what happened?
chairs are made of teak, and
Oh,
their partner is named Val. What a wonderful way we're getting along.
well, yes. So, could I start the interview?
No, not here. I'm sorry to be so blunt. You see, everything is ceremonious here on the floating palace. There is no reason for interviews to be done not publicly.
Oh.
Why would we?
all
Why
right.
would we trust anyone in the quarters and the bowels of our ship to then leak the information that they would then sculpt later for their own audience? I see.
I'm so sorry. Admiral, yes?
Yes, Admiral.
I
I'm
am a-
sorry, civilian. Yes.
Yana Teague. I'm a
course.
reporter with the highest integrity. I would never lie about a story. But there is a story. There was an assassination. And my understanding was that it was some sort of... I've been doing my due diligence. There was some sort of gangster from Asim who was trying to do something, but I was hoping to get more information about it.
Well, you see, I would love to tell you, but not here.
All right. Where,
I was simply
Never-
inviting a guest on the ship, and now there are several.
Looks over
Well-
towards the Vargar.
and the Vargar's just like, and the Vargar, they've got like sort of graying in their fur. You know what I mean? They look like they've been around the block quite a bit.
Yes, yes.
They're not
Well,
the spryest.
As he
well,
starts
there
growling,
are-
I'm going to take my glove off and just sort of put the back of my hand towards his nose. There.
I'm not a dog, they say,
I know.
with a bit of a snap. There are some beautiful panoramas out by the gardens. We could do the interview there if that would be better.
Request an audience, as you do as well.
So may we have the interview?
If there is an audience, yes. Of my peers and, of course, my community.
All right.
Everything is done ceremoniously here.
Yes. I mean, I've noticed there was quite a bit of to do.
The charm of it all.
If I may, perhaps the best place to have it would be at the granite board. That was what Papa loved most, and there is a massive granite board that stands in the middle of the square. The opportunity for simply everyone to be a part of the interview.
Marvelous.
Yes, and you'll have to explain how this game Granite works. I would be interested to know, but of course, let me go and I'll have to go and speak to whoever is in charge of protocol. There was I think he was the one of the people who was assassinated. I'll have to find out who's in charge of protocol now. I will get back to you once I'm able to organize an audience. And I'm so sorry for your loss. Nendo.
Thank you,
And-
Nintendo.
And June sort of apparates. I'll walk you both out. And takes the two of them out of the ship.
You know, it's best if we have our own story out there, right?
Oh, of course, but with having it public as the way it is probably going to be best. Therefore, know what has been said, and if anything has been doctored, then we'll know. Especially if it's
I'm-
being sent back to the Imperium,
I think it was a smart move. I'm not disagreeing.
of course. But you're saying we should have our own cut?
Well,
Our
not
own
our own
edits?
cut. I'm just. You're good at speaking to the press. I think you should do most of the talking.
Very
Point of
well.
order.
I saw how you handled them before.
Point of order. He
Yes.
does have the face of a wanted imperial criminal. Just noting it.
Right. That's
Oh yeah!
What a
Actually,
great
you
point
shouldn't
you
do
have.
any of the talking. I
That's
forgot
really
about
good.
that. Oh my god!
I am so happy that we didn't do that interview.
Do that interview? That would have been real bad.
Thank you
Because
for
Mary was
that
wanted
reminder.
by the Imperium
Thank
for
you
war
for
crimes.
that reminder.
Yep, that's a good call. Would Severance say anything about that? So I'm gonna assume
I don't know if
here.
Severance remember. Yes, he does.
Oh yeah, because his wife was like, "I'm
Yeah.
going to
Yeah,
arrest
yeah.
you," and
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
have
yeah.
the whole like,
Yeah.
Because there was that
Don't arrest
entire,
me.
it was that entire scene. That was me going brr, and then having to dig deep into the annals of whatever season it was. Okay.
2 or 3.
Seasons past. Many seasons past.
One or two. Right. Okay. Great. And I also, and especially if it's going towards the Imperium, then something must change with my face because it is.
Quint could help with that.
Changing my face.
I'm sure they've got something. What,
Right.
you're going to sit here this entire time and accuse them for the last multiple, however long it's been, of being a spy and then not leverage the skill set that they have set aside?
I was just trying to figure out if I wanted what kind of eyebrows I wanted. That's all. If I wanted them sharp or angled or one, I'm not sure. Or bushy.
I'll go get Quint for you.
Yes. Very well.
Terrica.
I will remain here.
I will note that the reporter has already seen Severance, and if he comes in with a fake mustache, it'll look kind of weird. That's all.
That's hilarious. What are eyebrows but the mustache of the face? Wait, eyebrows of the mustache of the eyes.
What are also, it would need to be a full transformation. It would need to be somebody other than
Yep.
he would
No,
need
it's
to be
not me.
representing as somebody other than Severance. Like literally, like
They
am
already
so-and-so.
saw me before because I stopped them at the scene.
They know who you are, so disguising yourself as somebody else would be weird because they
Yes.
know what you look like. Yeah.
So in other words, we either need to have you not be at the interview, or we need to have you pretend to be somebody else entirely
Or we
in your
ditch
disguise.
them. Or we ditch them.
Or we ditch them.
We just don't show up. I'm sorry.
I just think
we
it's a
got-
great opportunity to like start talking about Drinax beyond the world of Drinax.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
whole reason
Terrica-
Terrica was like, yeah, we should let him in.
It does make it difficult because it's going to the Imperium. And if they know that we're like, "Well, we're trying to, actually, no, they don't need to know. They just need to know that we exist, I guess. They don't need to know that we're trying to grow anything.
That
They
is
just need to be
correct.
reminded that we exist.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
That we
people
exist and that
that you
there's
exist, you're
culture
not
here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're not all dead.
Yeah.
Right.
That you're all on like all some kind of sad.
We get some
missing
B-roll
thing.
on the diamonds of the people that we lost, please. When you yeah, thank you.
Right?
Yeah, can we get a zoom in on the nuclear fallout that was dropped by the Aslan, please? Thank you.
I think actually,
Aurora.
well, we could just have Terrica do the interview and just like roll diplomacy on it.
Yeah, I think that's a great. That's a great
Absolutely.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think.
Can I get
I think it's best if I don't go to it. I think it's. Yes, I have a very recognizable face within the Imperium. It's a curse, really.
Oh, I forgot about that. All right.
And
I'll
yes,
just
of
do
course,
it. I'll just.
Quint could give me the old smoky eye, but I think that it'll be it'll just be too. I'm not sure. Maybe a smoky eye would work actually.
Will you stand off camera at least? I don't want to do this alone.
Fine. Yes, of course. I could stand off camera. I just don't want to. As long as I. Okay. Yes. All right. I will, like a stage mother, I will be off the
my
camera,
God.
and I will be mouthing you the answers and telling you not to mark it, and be like, all right, and fouette with your words. Fouette, 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 and stop and pose and knee slide, barrel turn. That's perfect.
Just like flying down to Drinax. Sounds great.
Exactly.
Actually, that sounds more fun than this. I'm going to go help her get everything figured out on the granite board.
Yes. I think that's a wonderful idea, and I also think that's a wonderful idea in chat. I'm probably going to do it.
Yeah, that is a
yep.
really good idea.
Can I get a diplomacy roll? Add a boon because this is your home space.
This is your thing.
Ooh,
Me?
Ooh la la.
No, our Terrica for the gathering and all of that business.
Do, do, do,
And if you
do.
like, you can aid Severance since you'll be there.
Yes, I will. Diplomacy.
Well, there are different ways in which you can aid. You could be aiding in a sketchy way, or in a it's up to you, right? There are different ways
just
in which you
like-
can aid this role.
Passing notes. Say this. Say that. Say this one. I will do.
This will be social.
Great. I will do diplomat social, just because that's
Do it
why not.
with a
I will.
with
Let's-
also a boon.
Let me cancel this.
All of you people who've invested, there's a little bit of a boon there. So I'm going to say.
Okay. I like it.
There's things that happen when you become invested.
How about
right?
gun combat social? All right.
Did you say gun combat
Yeah,
social?
Yep.
Because the whole thing is Severance just standing behind with a gun being like, you got this.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
Point at the camera and don't turn. Don't you dare turn around. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
You will get a +2 to this roll, Terrica.
Lovely.
And I'm going to just start it off, right? We're at the granite board. You've got like a little bit of time left. Does anybody else go to this interview? They can or they cannot. They've got other things to do if they wish. But the reporter will be there, sort of with everything set up. Nenda will be there. That is a 0. That makes no sense. What did you do there?
I put a +2 in there, but I think I should just put a 2.
2.
There's
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So it's a total of 7, 10, 12. It's a total of 12.
Hey, nice.
Perfect. And I need to write that down, by the way, because this will matter, because I'm tracking attitudes across the charted space.
Right.
I mean, because there's all this influence that you all are having, and I'm just
We're
tracking
influencers
it, you know what
now,
I mean?
is what you're telling me.
Oh, no.
Yes. Also, ring lights. So
right.
we're gonna do a start before we dissolve. So she's there. She's like, okay, all right, Nando, are you ready? Okay. This is Yana Teak of the Traveler News Service, TNS, and we're here live on. Cut. Sorry, we're not really live. All right, we'll do that again. Yes, do that again. All right, are you ready? Hello, this is Yana Teak of TNS, the Traveler News Service, on the floating palace of the planet of Drinax, where there has been an assassination of 2 of the most important nobles on this planet. A planet with very few people, but a planet of wonders. And at this moment, she's not actually close to you. She's like walking towards you, but like as she's walking, she's getting like the view of the palace itself. It's like a walk and talk panorama sort of thing. It's not exactly touristy, but it is she's wanting to get the views. It's a very impressive looking place, right? So she's wanting to get the views. Who could do such a thing, and what might this mean for this society with only about, I've been told, 100,000 people? We have with us the new liege of House Rippenhausen, which ties itself back to the days of the barbaric Sindalian Empire, who is now the head of this household, the child of the 2 assassinated diplomats. Please, now we're going to speak with Liege Terrica Lee Elaine Rippenhausen. Liege Rippenhausen, can you tell us what happened?
Well, there are some who do not want to see others grow or live, and they want to have it all for themselves. And that is exactly what we saw here, is somebody who saw what my parents were able to offer this place, able to offer Drinax filled with all of the culture, the people who have art at their fingertips, the people who are connected in with a seam, a lovely planet filled with beautiful fields of growing wheat. And instead, this gangster came in an attempt to take control, tore the lives of 2 very important people from this place. And here we are. Changed, but not gone.
I was told that this gangster was perhaps in some way connected to the terrorist organization Free Fields. What do you know about that?
It's not for me to say. I don't know a whole lot about Free Fields. But I do know that it's important to find ways to connect with like-minded people. It's important to grow and flourish and find art, to make art, to see more art. And any sort of organization that would stop that kind of growth is not one that I want to be affiliated with.
Now, I don't mean this is not in any way an ambush, but I've been in my travels along the Dust Belt. I've heard conflicting stories about the free fields. I've heard both that they engage in human trafficking and uh, all sorts of criminal behavior, but also I've heard that they are sometimes freedom fighters. Do you have any better sense of this organization, the Free Fields? My understanding is that they are somehow based here in the Reaches. What have you heard?
I didn't realize we were here to talk about the free fields.
Well, if they're the cause of this assassination, well,
I was not aware that this gangster was associated with them. It is hard for me to speak much to them or beyond the fact that I have lost both of my parents as a result of his actions, as a result of his greed. Let's be precisely clear on that point. This was not a matter of just some sort of rivalry or anger. This was a matter of greed and wanting to take over and control in more ways than one. And any sort of person or organization that would try to do that is not one that I want to be associated with. I want to be connected with those who are allowing people to connect, to come and go as they need, to I can't speak to what the free fields are or what they aren't. I've heard that they're freedom fighters, but who am I to say otherwise? I only know that Ruby murdered my parents with no regard for their life and only a wanton desire for what they had.
well, what will become of Drinax now?
Well, hopefully we'll continue to grow out of this. Hopefully we can continue to share this art and this culture with others who are interested. To be an opportunity to connect and learn what they have and to share what we know.
Do you have enough food for a large influx of tourists?
We're well connected to a seam, and if tourists were to come here and explore our art, I'm sure we could find a way to help make sure that they had a pleasant stay.
Thank you. Well, would you mind giving me a tour of this granite board so that our viewers in the Imperium might learn a little bit more about Drinax?
Sure. Granite is an age-old, and they will launch into the most detailed, everything else was super formal, and here we see Terrica start to just be and then if you really want to make the day, then you pop,
Turn to a chess nerd.
Total chess nerd. Total chess nerd. I don't think they stopped talking for 45 minutes. It's a solid chunk of just them just being oh, and then there's the cooperative aspect, but realistically, you're trying to come out on top. So if you take care of the tower, but you want to wait until it gets all the way, see, the longest game that was ever played, and the reality is...
Can we get a shot of the granite board, a zoom in?
This is going to go into the influencing of the perception of Drinax outside. But that said, let me ask, you've got some time before the princess is going to come calling. Do any of you all, the rest of you all, do any of you have things to do before the princess comes?
Terrica is gonna, before Caspian heads out, Terrica will send a note just a note. They're not going to see him anymore. But they will send a note, and they'll have tear the contract in half, and along with the torn up contract, the note that they're going to say is basically something to the effect of I hope that this token of goodwill finds you well. I have no intention of holding either of us to a contract that neither of us is interested in fulfilling. And I also hope that should any of the Imperium moot, or anyone in the Imperium that you are aware of, attempt to coerce forcibly or otherwise Drinax into a situation that they do not want to be a part of, that you would stand and advocate for our autonomy.
May I get a diplomacy check, also at a boon? Because you all know why. This is what happens when you are connected as you
Sworn
are.
in.
I mean, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Noting it.
Oh, my other one actually must have been way higher. As I'm looking at these numbers, no.
This is important to note.
No, it wasn't. Never mind.
Because I just need to know these things because I'm keeping track of how great these rolls are because they will impact attitudes. So, I imagine you all have a couple of things to do here and there. That note has been given. You will get a response. It'll take a bit of time. Let us say we are now at the moment where you are all back on the ship awaiting the princess, if that is good with everyone.
Yes.
So it's about 3 hours later. And June shows up. I'm so sorry. Have the princess and her retinue who have come to call upon you all. Shall I escort them in?
How many?
Well, she has got 2 bodyguards.
Very well.
All right. I will go get her right now. Should I prepare anything for food or beverage?
Some tea.
Of course.
And a glass of, and whatever Rao's previous favorite beverage was when Terrica had left, Terrica will order a glass of that for Rao.
By the way, she did request the entire crew to be present for this conversation.
Very well.
All right. And she, as she walks by, she just like pats Val as she always had done, right? There's that kind of like just like put her hand on Val's, on Val's back as she sort of slides by and goes to get the princess. And
crew, you're needed on at the airlock. Crew, you're needed at the airlock. Thank you. That's everyone. Wesley.
What? Okay. And Wesley's down there, so he's probably going to walk the princess up with June. And he's looking way too informal because he's looking very self-conscious because he's like wearing his overalls and he's a little bit like oily and he is looking embarrassed right now to be in front of like the princess.
A little bit of a grease ball.
Yeah. I will note that the princess's 2 guards stay down in the cargo hold. Do not come back up because probably the princess wants this to be a private conversation.
Because the grebes eat them.
Grebes, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to watch them.
Thanks. While you're down there, feed them things.
People. The princess sort of comes in and she smiles. That she does like a small sort of pirouette dance step. She says, well, it is a pleasure to see everyone here. I'm so glad I was able to get you before you left. Could we all have a seat? And she goes, you, and she points to Malcolm. I don't know. I mean, I know of you, but I would prefer this conversation be kept to the gamblers who have traveled here. Would that be all right? And Malcolm looks at Severance.
What? For Malcolm. Looks at Malcolm. They said Val, not Mal.
No, Malcolm.
Okay. This is very well. Malcolm, you can. Where are your bodyguards? Are they downstairs?
Yes, they're downstairs.
Okay, all right. You may go downstairs and
all right.
entertain the others.
Oh, all right. And he sort of pulls out a deck of cards and he heads down the turbo lift. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that it was only those people who are read in who are here.
One moment. Read into. Not everyone here is read into everything.
No, so everyone is here. Where is the Harlock?
Harlock, are you on the ship? Are you on board?
Is she on your board yet?
The Harlock left.
I know that, but she has been away this whole time? Okay, all right. When is she? Never mind.
Can Terrica contact Rao psionically to let her know that, because Terrica knows she came up from the planet, right? And that Rao is psionic, and they have not told Wesley everything about the psionic stuff.
I didn't tell Terrica. Terrica figured it out.
It's true.
Before you can, you can see her thinking. She goes, Wesley, is that correct? I believe you might also need to go downstairs. Is that all right with everyone else? And Wesley's like, and once he gets the nod from the core crew, he's like, and he sort of heads out and down.
Sending a message. I'm sending a message to the Harlock right now. Get back to the ship. Where are you?
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. And she goes, yes, where is my brother's wife? She has not been present.
You wouldn't believe what people are saying here about you.
She doesn't report her comings and goings to any of us.
Well, there's been no record of any ships leaving, so she must be about somewhere.
Thank you. That's what I was saying. Where are you?
The Harlock moves in mysterious ways on a mysterious schedule.
Yes, of course. We could always, of course, let them know whenever you tell us what it is that you want to tell us, and we will. I'll make sure she's privy of it.
I was surprised to learn that my brother had married the Harlock. That seemed quite out of character for him.
So was
any
I.
of you have any ideas why that might have happened?
It happened. It really happened?
Yes. It has not been announced publicly, probably because she's not present, although it looks as if my brother was planning on doing so during the investitures. Does anyone have an idea why that might have happened?
Sorry, she really didn't give us any sort of heads up or indication. Oh, you're
I
muted.
didn't even know she was married. Recent? Is this a recent development?
Yes, it was very recent.
Has to be recent. Has to be
I didn't know that
recent.
she was married to
Very
him
recent.
either. It seemed to have been a bit of a secret. And I usually know about all of those on the floating palace, so imagine my surprise.
I could only imagine.
Well, that's not really why I'm here, though. I'm here about something else. I've recently returned to the floating palace from Drinax.
How was your talk?
Interesting. Very interesting and very enlightening. I had no idea.
I don't think any of us fully understood it until we got down there. To be fair, I don't know that I still understand it.
I can only do so much here. And I don't have a lot of allies who are read in. to this big secret. I see that you have nominated someone to take over your father's position.
Yes, Grisa has a reasonable number of contacts. I think she'll be friendly to you, but not in a way that would alienate others.
Yes.
She doesn't have the experience of working with him yet, which is a detriment for sure, but...
That's not my concern. My main concern is this. I spent some time there, and our planet is fragile.
Yeah.
Just like we are. It's barely surviving the destruction of the Aslan, much as we are barely surviving. I've come to understand that you need a connection between the planet and the people in order for it to thrive and grow. The people have to dream and believe in something larger than themselves as individuals. And there needs to be someone who can channel those thoughts and feelings into the planet so that it can grow and become stronger. And we need more people. We need a lot more people. We need more planets to join. I always thought we needed the planets to join just so we can become stronger, but it seems as if we need those people.
There may be a line for 2 million people, refugees.
We cannot have 2 million people on this planet. The planet
Not on this
is
planet.
barely habitable.
But perhaps we could make arrangements. They're refugees. They need help, and they need to be taken care of. They're in the middle of... They were taken over by the Glorious Empire. These are people who were enslaved by the Glorious Empire, and the Hyatt recently took it back over. Not only is it a great opportunity for us, for Drinax, but also all of these people need help. If it's not here on Drinax, fine, but maybe we can talk, maybe with number 1 or other locations.
A seam can take them.
We'd have to speak with Asim. They are sovereign in their own ways. That would have to be some diplomacy. Also, 2 million
would be
refugees.
the best.
How do we get them here? We
There's
don't
a
have
ship.
the ships.
Well, there's a captain, Treadwell.
Treadwell.
He's on Treadwell. Thank you. He's on Assis, and he's just wanting to find a place to take them. He has a ship.
That would be quite useful.
It's not just a ship. He's also organizing an entire humanitarian effort to try to relieve them.
Yes.
So, an untitled admiral in his own way.
Well, 2 million people, we cannot make this decision for Asim. They are part of the kingdom of Drinax, but they have their own sovereignty. This would have to be discussed with them. If they can... First, you'd have to find this Treadwell, you'd have to find the refugees. There'd be a lot to work with, but it's possible. It's not out of the question. We need to know more. But that is not... There is a larger problem. Lord Hill's position, I've come to understand after visiting the planet, is one of utmost importance. It is the person who most interacts with the people of Drinax and their hopes and their dreams. It is a position of great influence. I think, Liege Terrica, that you need to take that position. Grisa would do a good job, but that is a position that would, more than many, especially at this moment, do the most to channel health from the planet to the people and back. And someone who is as closely connected to the planet would be much more effective than someone who isn't.
You're asking me to give up flying.
For the moment, for the greater good of the planet, but not only just the planet, the entire reaches. All
You
the
wouldn't have to
planets.
give up flying. You just send in a courier, right? We have a currying system. We could also send the Elaine as well to send these messages back. Right?
Who would fly the Gambler?
You fly, you stay, and we have Colin bring the messages and then what you need to.
No. I mean, there needs to be someone here who... I will do my best, but the people of Drinax do not dream of me in a unified way. They dream of my brother, half of them, and half of them dream of me. The lack of clarity when it comes to the succession. I am the named heir, but people are talking, and that means that I cannot be as effective a conduit until this is resolved with my brother. But there is one figure that everyone values, and that is the figure of the counselor. And people associate you are Reppenhausen. That is a position that has been important, but more importantly, you are also a von Greville. Your father follows a long line, and that unbroken line from one to the next will continue quite a bit of power. And you actually understand what the job is in a way that almost no one else does. You, except perhaps, I don't even know if the Sun Seer, the Sun Priestess does. I don't know if Drinax can heal without you taking on this position. Certainly not as quickly. And things are becoming more difficult for me right now, as people dream of my brother. And that means that the attention is fractured. But you, the Sun Seer, you are unified figures, you're archetypes, you are people who transcend. If you remained here, you could do much. I'm not quite certain how we can get a seam's dreams as easily, but Dr. Morrissey is from Asim, and him as your partner is symbolically quite important. That would also bring in the dreams of Asim and help feed them into Drinax as well.
I need time to think about this. And Terrica will look over at Val to talk about this.
Of course. But I would ask that you, now that you are the liege of the house, which has much power in it, in the imagination, the history of it, I would ask you to sacrifice, perhaps, for a time, flying to help save the planet, and Asim, and all of the reaches. there is a lot of unrest here on the floating palace, and it's getting worse. It's getting much worse ever since Rax has been arrested. Having someone who carries within them so much power, the power of the planet itself, would be important.
You have, you've pled your case well. Is there anything else you would like to say? Is there anything anyone wants to say?
I will leave you all. I will go back to the palace. Well,
This
my quarters,
isn't,
at least.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Your Majesty, but this isn't direct order, correct?
No, it is not.
From the king, of course.
No, I am speaking to you all without having spoken to the king. The king will be happy with Grisa. He may not be as happy with Liege Terrica leaving the mission. I sold the mission to him very well, and he's very
And we
excited
don't
about
want
it.
to upset him about the mission.
But I can handle my father. I will leave you all to discuss it. And please contact me when you've decided. And
Thank you.
Sir Quint, we should have to do our joint reading to find out if you might be a knight in my employ. Pledged to me?
That's something we should really put on the schedule, yes.
We really should. Dr. Morrissey.
Quint, are those boiled eggs? Where'd you get
Yes,
eggs?
yes, they
Time
were
like
boiled
this?
eggs.
Those
I
grebes?
will-
Grebe eggs?
No,
Grebe eggs, I hear, are delicious. Well, I will...
much bigger than this.
They're in season. If you want a couple, we've got some grebes, that is. We're
We've
trying
got.
to get rid of the grebes.
We're going to take them down to the planet.
Severance, grebes don't lay eggs. What have you been eating?
Oh God!
Oh, I'm going to
I don't know.
leave you all to this. But again, this is important. But it's not an order. And I've spoken to no one else about this. Also, none of you will speak to anyone about the being on the planet, correct?
No. Right?
Of course not.
If the Imperium or the Aslan found out about this, they would strip mine our planet.
I didn't know anyone else knew about a being on any sort of planet.
Good. I would not like it to be destroyed, cut to pieces.
I would like it not to be discussed.
And the princess smiles at you, Severance, with this sort of like smile that says, yes, I like you. Like that kind of like recognition of a recognition of your discretion.
Mm-hmm.
And she
And not at all
stands.
offended. Exactly, it's discretion.
But like you can tell like that you have sort of like won her over a little bit with that sort of comment. And she sort of makes her bow and she says, I will leave you all to discuss.
Thank you
And
for not making it in order.
no, I wouldn't.
I will show you out, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Of course. Right this
And I will just note for the record that she doesn't normally walk with bodyguards because the floating palace is pretty cozy and everybody knows each other. So people just don't tend to walk around with bodyguards. That just doesn't.
Right. The bodyguard wakes up on the couch and goes, "Oh shit, I'm needed today." Oh, okay, all right, hold on.
Right, you know.
Oh,
But
damn,
she
okay.
is now currently walking around with bodyguards, which she just does not normally do. And as she leaves,
Gotta go pick up my son. I mean, bodyguard from the downstairs, from the playpen. I mean, the cargo bay.
yes,
With the pet grebe that you just now have.
Yeah, with the
and-
work kid sitters.
and I will say that as the princess leaves with her bodyguards now, who are armed, just in case, not for you all. Tensions are a little bit high, especially with a missing bride. And as she leaves, Wesley will come up. So will Malcolm. And Wesley will grab one of the eggs. It's like, what kind of egg is this?
That's not eggs. Those aren't eggs, right, Val? Those aren't eggs.
Oh,
I don't know what they are. I don't know where you found them. I don't know why they were being
They
presented
were
as
by the
eggs,
grebes.
but
They were by the grebes. I thought they were grebe eggs.
oh.
I'm going to let you make your own conclusion. I'm already there.
They're edible.
Wait.
I was able to eat them. I passed
Okay.
them fine.
Okay.
Okay.
With that, by the way, we're going to take our break. And when we come back, there is a discussion to be had. When we come back, there is a discussion to be had about the fate of Drinax itself. My friends, stretch your legs, drink some water, and we will be back in, 10. And we, oh, wait, don't say anything yet. Yes, now we are back. I need to find out why that's happening. Anyway, we are back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of session 6. When we left, the crew had assembled on the Gambler after the princess had made an appeal asking Liege Terrica to stay on Drinax because she really needs somebody who actually understands what channeling is to be able to be in the job that's all about channeling people's feelings. Like, the whole job is to be the person who channels people's feelings, and would like someone who knows how to do that effectively to help heal the planet. And asked
Which will heal the system.
Which will heal the system, and asked for them to stay. Especially because of the fact that Terrica is part of a lineage that has a lot of imagination. People think of this lineage. They're like not. They're like, people know the name, and they think of them, or they think of this. There's a lot of like built up energy from generations and generations of thoughts on this like, sort of family. So when we come back, the crew is on the Gambler, and Malcolm and Wesley have no idea what's going on, but they've been brought back up to like, we don't know, Princess was here.
Poor Wesley.
Yeah.
I wish we'd read him in. Poor guy.
He doesn't know what's
And
going
then
on.
he'd figure out that we're all psionic and be like, oh no.
That's why he's not been read in.
Because he doesn't know that part. Nope.
Well, because the one time he asked that there was an opportunity, there'd already been like multiple hammer drops in that whole conversation.
Yep.
He wasn't ready. We wouldn't want to break the poor boy.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
And so everyone's sitting down there, and Malcolm is looking pretty chill. I mean, he's just there with Severance, and he's looking pretty chill. Although, I mean, he's mostly been excited about being on a spaceship. That's been pretty exciting for him. But he's like trying to be chill.
Are we picking up where we left off? Or are we picking up?
We're picking up now
later?
with everybody assembled
Okay.
on the ship to discuss what happened. Except that Malcolm and Wesley have no idea what happened because they were not present for that conversation. But Malcolm is chill. He's like, he figures this is normal. Wesley is like, what's happening? Wesley is a little bit on edge because he has no idea what's going on, and Malcolm is chill.
Wesley, the princess The princess asked me to stay and take over Papa's job.
But you can't because you've got to fly the Gambler.
Where is the Harlock? And why aren't
Nobody knows where the Harlock is, Severance.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you.
June pops up. Well, she teleported away.
Oh,
I assume
that
it's
makes
teleportation.
way more sense. Because I was told this entire time that she wasn't on the ship, Sue.
No, middle of the
But
night.
she teleported away.
Yes, that's correct.
Where?
Well, I'm not quite certain, but
I don't know why I'm asking. Does anyone have any idea?
Your guess is as good as mine.
there was
Probably
something. Well, she had a guest on the ship.
That's enough. Thank you, Sue. You're dismissed.
Oh, well, all right then. And Sue disapparates.
All right. Well. Okay. Great. All right. So let's get.
The Harlock's gone.
It seems like it. Let's. It's probably best that we just everyone. We get back to where we jump. We're jumping to Torpal, right? Is that what we were thinking?
Yeah.
All right. Then let's go. Let's get ready for that.
So then nobody's going nowhere.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I said. Well, we are.
Unless
We're going to go. We're
Terrica
going to go to our
wants to
stations
stay.
and make a jump to Torpal, right? Let's get out of this place.
I mean, I'm ready to go. We got to pick up
Good.
Kareen.
Great. Me too.
And I was just thinking, I was just thinking that, you know about Evan?
What about Evan?
You know how he's gone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but I was just thinking that ship he was on, Sal Dance's ship, there's nowhere else for him to go but Torpal, and we're going to Torpal, which means he'll probably still be there. We could probably talk to him and try to convince him to come back.
That's a great
we don't break
idea.
up the family.
All right. That's a wonderful idea. Breaking up the family. Oh, that's good. All right. So let's
Because, I mean,
Make
he
our
only
way
left
to-
like the other day, right? Which means that it's going to take him a whole week to get there. And if we leave right now, like, he's going to stay there for a whole week, which means we got
Right.
like a couple days. We get there and he'll be there. And,
Yes,
and we
thank
could
you.
just-
Yes, we get it. We get it. Thank you.
Okay.
I just
Severance.
yes.
I need some time. Just hour, 2 maybe.
Fine.
Terrica will like drop their hand under the table and like give Val's hand a squeeze of like, oh, thank God, because I am so overwhelmed right now. Like,
Okay.
Very well. I mean, what's an hour more?
It was a
Maybe
couple more
2.
hours.
Also, Clarice will be off work in that time, so if, for whatever reason,
Oh, right.
yeah, not sure
Hey.
why I'm remembering that.
Did any of you play a prank on me, by the way?
what kind of prank?
S-
What kind of prank, Wesley?
Sending me a fake love letter from one of those Pinkertons?
What?
What?
You know?
Do you think it?
Where did
like
you find
Terrica will
this
look
love
over at
letter,
Quint.
Wesley?
Huh? What?
Where did you find this love letter, Wesley?
June gave it to me, said it was dropped off, but I figured maybe one of you put it up. It's so embarrassing.
If it is from one of the children who was here, then it's not a prank, it was a real confession, Wesley.
Well, she's gone, so that's... And also, she's a kid.
Yep.
Yep, Wesley, that's...
Yeah.
Where is the loom on this ship?
Like, the loom?
Yeah, the loom. I'm trying to figure out what to do with all these plot threads we keep getting.
I'm not really good with that sort of thing, but I can, find it.
We don't have
Anyway-
a loom on the ship, Wesley.
Damn it. All right.
Well, if you need an hour, I'll just go back onto the floating palace and walk around, I guess. Unless you... Okay.
You can walk around on this ship, Wesley.
I'll be on the bridge. And Tara just like stands up and then they'll look over at Val for a second. And then they'll head to the
Why
bridge.
don't we go make sure the grapes are ready? Because when we get going, we are going to drop them off. So why don't we make sure everything is ready for the departure? Yeah. Malcolm, you can help. Unless Severence needs you.
You can go, Malcolm Brace. I am going to Severance Pace.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes.
Because I figure he knows like how they're gonna want to receive them, and so
I can help with that. And
great.
and like,
let's go.
they're gonna follow Quint.
Make sure you keep all of your like digits retracted around the very the carnivorous, and they like to bite.
They're kind of snappy, like they're like snapping turtles, but they just like digits.
Yes,
And they're highly fertile right now.
Also,
be careful of that, I think.
It's already leaving the electric barrier.
So those weren't eggs? What was I eating?
I'm pretty sure they're eggs.
And down the turbo lift.
I'm pretty sure they were eggs, everyone. Just want it to be known that they are eggs. I'm pretty sure. Thank you.
Val will stop Severance as they're kind of quitting the space and make sure the area is clear. Severance, I'm telling you this, and I haven't even told Terrica yet, but the prince is a clone. It's not a prince.
I thought that's what I was reading when they looked the same. You did use me as a... You actually did use me as a baseline?
I did.
Oh, I thought that was all, okay.
Just wanted you to know. I'm not sure the princess does.
Thank you.
Tensions are high here. It's not going to take much. And that is way more than much.
I see. I think. Right. So the Harlock is apparently married to a clone. She has a type.
She had her reasons, Severance. I don't think it has anything to do with a happily ever after.
Good. We wouldn't want that anyway.
You certainly would not.
Yes, yeah. But you an hour, yes? I'm already eating into your hour, and I apologize. I must get to what I was gonna do. And he sort of nods in like recognition, like, is it cool if I am dismissed?
As yet,
bro?
He doesn't wait for you to dismiss, but he will. Again, he could never salute. That's not who Val is.
Yeah.
But Val would offer as much as he could give, which would be a bow.
Right.
Admiral.
I also bow with a slight flourish. And I turn and walk out, and the doors sphincter behind me.
He would head to the bridge. Val walks in, cloud of smoke.
Hey.
She's a beauty here, isn't she?
Yeah. Best starship anyone could ask for.
Yeah, you could leave it at best starship.
You know the way that the teak just sort of connects there in the bottom? You know, she kind of pulls a little bit to the left if you're...
Val sits down on the console, deactivated console, sort of puts his hands down beside him, crushes out the cigarette.
Terrica put an ashtray there ages ago.
Oh, yeah, he's not like, right on the... no. Fuck your shit right now. No, yeah, he's respectful. That was a lot.
You know, it's my fault we're in this position in the first place. If I had just sent a note when I found out they were going to get shot.
Let's not start pointing fingers or casting blame. Not in here, because you're not the target. I'm going to draw a little fire, too.
I'm talking about staying, Val.
I know. What would your father say?
You want me to follow my heart?
Then what does your heart say?
I can't let Drinax fail. I gotta stay here, but
That's it.
I'm gonna miss this place. I'm gonna miss... You don't have to stay. You can fly the stars. You should do whatever your heart says, too.
Well, good. I've already found my stars.
I love you so much.
I know.
Maybe we could go back and forth between here and Asim. Then we get some flying. Some us time. It wouldn't be the gambler.
It would be us. We'll always be here. And he reaches up and doesn't look as he touches that spot that Terrica indicated where the teak just blends right in. Every atom. Can't pry a pilot from their craft. Not when they love each other.
Terrica will run a hand over the edge of the console until they connect with Val's hand. And it's just, maybe we can just do it for a time. Then I can train someone else.
That's the future. This is now. But if we're talking of the future, I'm going to bring those refugees to a new home.
I'll help you. Well, from here.
There's a
Where do you wanna
place
take?
in Asim Asim is, it's very big and there's very few people there, and was meant to be that way so there would be more land and no cities, just small hamlets, villages. Thousands of
That many
miles of coast
people.
won't make a dent in Asim.
They'll have a place. The pictures are beautiful.
Pictures.
I've never been.
Oh, we're going to change that.
Yeah. Okay.
My mother, her family, most of the hamlets and villages are just grown-up family estates that built more houses, and people would die and inherit them, and sometimes they get big enough to be called something. My mom came from a place called Hallelujah. It's on the coast.
Name.
I don't know what it means, never did. But
Hallelujah.
I want to show it to you. I want to show it to everyone.
I want to see it. Everyone should what?
Have a place to run to.
Yeah.
Free fields.
You know, they were grilling me about that during the interview earlier today. Apparently it's tied to Ruby somehow. Kept saying they were some kind of terrorist organization. I don't know.
Not the posers.
Posers?
People with delusions of grandeur.
Wait. How would you know?
How would I know what?
That they're posers.
Because I started Free Fields.
Oh, shit. Well, if I'd known that, I could have said so many more. I could have made the interview so much better. You gotta tell me things, Val.
I haven't for years. It's something that Ruby took like he always takes, but the core of it, the essence, the beginning, the thought was my mom's. Everyone should have a place to run to. A home.
Yeah. Home. Terrica will unclasp their hands and then take Val's hands in theirs too, and then they'll just say, home.
I do.
They'll reach up and just a long, slow, deep kiss. The kind of kiss that's not just if Val's good with this, I assume.
Val's very okay with it.
Not just like a hot and heated romance, but a truly deeply connected both to each other and to the place and to more than that, but mostly it's just each other. It becomes that sort of where everything is out and then it just resumes into the deep close connection. And that's this kiss.
When it would end, Val would only say one thing. That's the future.
I'm going to give Wesley a choice. He should get to be able to continue the adventure if he wants to. Besides, it's probably more interesting out there than it is here.
He has some more seasoning.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
I have to take my mom home. I can't leave her here.
I'll go with you. Unless you want to go alone, and then I'll stay here and do the work that needs to get done, obviously.
My dear Terrica, I don't go anywhere alone anymore. What should we do first?
Probably tell Wesley and the rest of the crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I really want to see Hallelujah.
I want to see it through your eyes. Forever.
Terrica will run their hand up through the side of the neck and into his hair as they switch on the comms beside them and say, "Everyone to the bridge." And then whenever the door opens, they'll pull their hand away and get more serious.
It's a bit of a time. Wesley's got to make his way all the way up, right? With Malcolm, and I assume also Quint. And imagine also Severence is going to make it there. People congregate to the bridge, and Malcolm goes and sits in the turret spot. And Wesley's like, I can work the engineering from up here. Do you want me to be up here this time?
No.
Okay, I can go back down.
No, you need to stay here because you, Terrica will thread their fingers through Val's and they'll say, "We're going to stay here on Drinax."
Oh, okay. Well, when are we leaving then? Because we have to pick up Kareen. If we don't get there soon, we're going to lose her.
I'll put my hand on Wesley's shoulder. It's in a slow down kind of way.
Terrica's as soon as you get a pilot, and it needs to be a good one, and I'm interviewing them.
And but you are our pilot. Are we waiting a couple days? We still have a couple days, right, before we have to...
Wesley, when Terrica said we, they were referring to themselves and Val.
What do you mean?
You're welcome to stay if you want to stay, Wesley, but Also, there is a lot to explore out there, and I'm going to be doing a lot of very dull work for a while.
Yeah, but you're a pilot, and Val's our doctor, and I mean, our comms, and we kind of, we can't. I mean, we're not. How are we gonna do this? I mean,
Wesley.
we're
Crash Jones. His friends, they are there one book. They're not there another book. And then they come back.
It's true. But I just thought I mean, we're like a family on the ship.
We are a family. But not all families are together all the time.
You just going away for like a jump or two? Like, should we come right back after Torpal?
Just a book or two.
Wesley, I mean, you can have so many grand adventures out there. It's not just Torpal. There's more that's on the... And they look over at like Severence and Quint, and then they're back, and then they're like, there are other things that need to be done. And just because we're here doesn't mean you can't be out there. And it doesn't mean that we're not family. You're still my ward.
I could, well, I mean, you adopted me all official like.
Yeah, all right. Do you want sons? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at the parent side of things, but you're my son. Yeah? That's not going to change. Even if you go and explore the stars, and you have Quint and Severance, and you have the Gambler.
I could stay here on the floating palace and do whatever it is that sons of nobles, aristocrats do, whatever it is. I don't have to go.
Lots of paperwork.
What?
Oh.
Nothing.
You can do whatever you want, Wesley. If you want to stay, you can. If you want to go, you can. But I'm going to lay it out as plainly as I can for you.
Clones aren't real, by the way.
There is not a lot.
Just for the record, they're not real, so it's not like...
I know. Oh, I know firsthand they're not real.
That's just science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Clones. I mean, we can clone arms or whatever, but I mean, you can't have like a real clone. That's...
I would love to have this debate at another time.
I'm just trying to avoid it. Sorry.
No, me too. But there's not enough room in the avoidance room for both of us.
Oh, right. Sorry. But
the reality is, you know this ship better than anybody else, Wesley. Well, you know this ship really well. I'm sorry. After I said that, I immediately realized that both Quint and I know this ship very well. But you have been training to learn everything with the engines. You know that we need 2 knocks if we really want to get the spinner throwing, right? How long would it take to teach somebody everything that we've learned over the... I need you here. I need somebody who knows this ship, who can hold whoever the pilot is accountable and make sure that they don't try and do something crazy. Not crazier than I would have done. But if they do, then they better be as... Well, okay, but here's the point. The point is, they're not as good at flying as I am, or they better be if they're going to try something crazy. So if they do, make sure they don't hurt the Gambler.
Who's going to astrogate for us? Without Val.
We'll have to hire someone.
What happens if we get sick? Get like shot or something
What happens if I get sick, Val?
I'll leave everything. All my notes. Everything I've come up with. The auto doc will have everything.
All right.
And they're really well-educated doctors here on Drinax. Potentially, one of them could join the crew.
Perhaps. I'd like to be there for these interviews. Pilot and doctor, astrogator, or whatever.
I can do some piloting, if necessary, until you find a pilot you like of appropriate caliber, but please do not ask me to astrogate.
I could astrogate. Not well, but I can.
Well, then I guess we're fine then, I guess.
I don't think we'll be fine, but I said I could.
Well, I mean, Admiral Severance, you're pretty good at everything, though, so...
Well, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. Master of none.
I guess.
I want Quint to be the pilot. He's good.
Is that what he wants?
I can pilot. If we could pick up a secondary pilot, that would be
You can pilot,
helpful
Quint,
for
yes.
if we ever need to take...
Do you want to be the pilot,
Yes.
Quint?
Sure. I will fill whatever role needs filling on this ship.
Very, admirable. But I want to know what it is you want to do.
Yeah.
And you say those words, and it looks like Quint has like a tiny existential crisis of like, nobody ever asks me this question.
It's truly
Like
up to
ever.
you, Quint. Like you, whatever you want. I'm not trying to force you into one thing or another. You repaired this ship right alongside me. You and Wesley know the Gambler better than any other crew could. But if you don't want to be the pilot, I'll interview someone and make sure they're good.
I don't know what I want. I'm just going to be frank and honest right now. I don't mind being pilot. I don't mind being gun. I've a lot of hats I can put on for a lot of different jobs. I don't mind piloting. I'm not against it in any sort of way. I don't love it as much as you do, but it is fun. It is fine. If you find a better pilot in the future, I will have no problem stepping down. But if you have an astrogator or someone else in mind, I do not mind filling the pilot role. I would be more than happy to do so.
There
But
are
please
no
don't ask me
other
what I want.
pilots here in the Reaches. I was going to say here in the Floating Palace, but beyond that, in the Reaches, who knows how to fly this class of a ship? Let alone the Gambler.
Right.
But also, I mean, we've got that funky stealth ship attached to the bottom of our ship.
You know, I always forget about it because it's so goddamn stealthy.
Like, I barely notice it.
Yes, that is my preferred ship to fly. A small craft, but I'm specialties in the small craft, like
Well,
the
when we're
stealth
in
ship. But I
space,
can pilot.
And when we're in space, you
Yes.
can pilot the small craft and we'll just be attached to it.
That's not how that works, Severance,
only
at
Of
all.
course it is. Of course it is. Do you know how gravity works? It doesn't in space.
Oh,
That's
It probably
there is actually
overpower
gravitational pull of the planets.
it's actually just about.
The
I
lock.
just feel like it would just take
Yeah.
up a lot of fuel real fast. And
I'm not an
it'd be like-
engineer, okay? I'm a passing astrogator at best.
that much is very clear.
Which is why I would not mind if we picked up someone later who could also pilot, so we can have
Right, I may be someone who could
for-
astrogate.
for stealth craft purposes.
Trooper,
Maybe
let me
someone
ask
who could
something real quick.
astrogate, but we will be
Yes.
traveling. Yes.
I don't want to look this up right now because I'm lazy, but Torpal, do they have a high enough starport rating to get a med bay and an auto dock?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay,
They do.
so then Val would say that.
Torpal is a really big trading hub along that route.
Oh, yes, it is. Yup. And if it wasn't Torpal, it would be us.
Whenever you guys get to Torpal, there'll be a crew waiting to turn. And he pauses for a second. The room that I stay in, into a med bay, it'll have an auto dock in it. It'll have all of my notes.
I'm sorry, but that should probably be actually down in the cargo hold if a med bay. Kind of big, be much bigger than your room for like the whole thing. It'll probably have to build it down by where the low berths are.
Well, Wesley, I read the rule book and it said that one of the staterooms could be converted into a med bay. And so I'm thinking now that maybe that's what could happen.
But I mean.
And Wesley, also, what are we going to do about the walker? Right?
Oh, God.
Now that we can do that with the estate room.
I mean, but do you really want to go and give up one of the... Do you really want to go and give up...
No.
It's just if we give up that room, the stateroom, then what happens when you come back? Then you won't have it. I mean,
I'll sleep there, Wesley. There are beds in a med bay.
Yeah,
I've
but
spent plenty of time sleeping in an ER bed.
it's just... I mean, that's... The place you guys are staying at right now that's you and Terrica's place. And if we just gave it up, then it'd be like you weren't coming back.
Wesley, we all have jobs. You have a quest. Do you know why? There's something out there. Something that Terrica and I, Quint, Severence can't find. Do you know what's out there?
No. And he sort of fingers he's clearly got something on a necklace. It's his Viridian
Mindy, why are you laughing?
necklace that's underneath. You can't see, but he kind of like fingers it.
For no reason.
Oh,
I thought.
Because it's not.
no. You mean the
Viridian.
emerald one?
Because somebody stole it. But he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. And no one, and technically only other person who does is Terrica.
Oh, and also the princess.
And the
But go
princess,
on.
I guess.
Yeah.
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 Do you know what's out there, Wesley?
Well, no.
It's you. Just like we found you when the time was right, there's someone out there that needs the gambler, that needs you. Find them and bring them home.
Okay. But couldn't we just at least put the med bay in the cargo hold so that you can have a place to stay when you come back?
Put it in the Harlock's room.
Oh no, she'd stab me.
All right.
Well, pick your poison, Wesley. It is your first decision.
It's not going in Harlock.
Well, we'll just have to decide that when. Wesley walks up to Val, puts out his hand for a handshake.
Are you kidding me with this shit? And
Well,
Val doesn't ask for permission because Val doesn't do that shit. Val hugs Wesley. And it's a little tighter than even Val expected it to be.
Like, he doesn't let go. And he kind of whispers, I'm afraid I'm not good enough as an engineer. I just only started learning.
Then Val would whisper into his ear, if you don't think you're a good enough engineer, be a hero instead.
I'll try.
Find them. Bring them home.
Okay.
And Val pulls away and turns his head towards Terrica because he doesn't want anyone else, especially fucking Quint, to see that he's crying. So he just turns away and looks out.
Terrica will like step in front to kind of like shield them, but also remember Terrica's tiny. They're like fighter pilot sized, so I don't know how much shielding is actually happening. Pocket sized.
Yeah.
But they do. They'll like step up and yeah, that's right. And they'll also like give Wesley a great big hug, and they'll say, "You're a Reppenhausen now. That's a long line with a lot of lineage. You've got this. You have
Do I gotta
the
like
heart.
wear something, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Just be you, Wesley. I didn't pick you because you were somebody else. You asked me if I wanted to be your... I'm trying to say ward, and I know that's not the right word. The words are not
Guardian?
really here, but thank you. You asked me if I wanted to be your guardian, and I said yes, because it's you, Wesley. Because of this, and they tap his heart. Like, not tap, tap, but like tap, tap.
Yeah.
You're like, you've got this. Just believe.
But y'all, both of you are coming back, right? And we're gonna come back through Drinax, and we'll see you and everything like that, and it's just like temporary, right? And then you're gonna.
We're family, Wesley. I'll see you again.
Because I mean, nobody else really knows how to. There's that weird hitch thing that happens in the controls with the.
I know. It's a whole, yeah. But
Still don't know why it does that.
such a pain. You know, I have been wondering if maybe we run the copper pipe through the other, like if we turn the magnet on the other side so that it just reverses the polarity, maybe we can fix that.
Oh.
Might be something to work on.
Yeah. Quint and I have a secret.
Oh, what is it? Well, you don't have to tell me your secrets. Sorry, very nosy.
Well, you know how I want to be a pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I end up being an engineer and all, I guess. But I was hoping you were gonna teach me to be a pilot. Quint and I, we did a DNA test, and all. And I'm related to a pilot in my past.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Starla Thukral. First Indian lady to be a pilot back in the old Soleimani days.
Wow. Tell you what, each time you come back through Drinax, I'll show you a little more.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go feed the grebes. I figured y'all want to talk. And he just comes back and hugs Terrica one more time.
And they like, as they're hugging him, they like start to just cry into his chest. And they hold on for probably longer than they should before they like step back, and then they're just like, we're like, you've got this.
Wait, come here.
What? What?
And he leans down, head on the other side where Val's not. I'm not gonna let him take your room. I'm just gonna put it in the cargo hold. You're always gonna have a place to stay.
Thank you, Wesley.
And maybe we even get Evan back, and we might need it for like a customer, a passenger or something.
That is some very smart decision making.
Okay, I'll let y'all talk. And he goes, and he's like the minute he starts turning, you can see the waterworks start. Like he was keeping it together right before he started turning away, and the minute he starts turning around, you could like see it, and like like he's trying to keep his shoulders straight. He's just sort of heads out. Like he's wanted to go to feed the grebes because he wants to go cry. Really, is what it is. As he sort of heads out.
Feeding the grebes is like a
Because we
metaphor
literally
for
just came
so
back up
many
from taking care
things.
of the
I'm gonna
grebes.
go feed the graves if you know
It
what I mean.
really
They don't need
is.
to be fed. They've already been fed.
Feed
They
the
don't need to be fed
grebes.
again.
Feed the grebes is
Euphemism.
either like taking care of someone who died accidentally or crying on your own alone. Sorry, I didn't mean to force piloting on you there, Quint.
It's fine. You're not forcing me. I could stay here and be a knight for the princess if I really, really wanted to.
Yeah, I'd noted you paused and then you asked for the reading, but and Terrica doesn't finish this sentence, but like the end of the sentence is like, she already knows everything. And Terrica's like,
Uh-huh.
are you looking for a way out? Do you want to ally with the Reppenhausen line instead?
I would not object. I don't like... Not that she necessarily would, but she knows my skill set, and I don't like what I think she would have me do working underneath her. I want out of that line of work.
Then consider it done. We'll take care of everything.
It's one of those new thruple things.
Oh, God.
What?
Severance.
That's what I thought you were saying.
No. Instead of pledging allegiance to the princess, Quint pledges allegiance to
Who is
me,
the current
avoids the whole
spy master?
catastrophe. Yes. Instead of the spy
really do
master,
not
it's to
wish
the
to-
counselor.
Yes. I knew that. If you are looking for some real estate or quarters, I know someone who needs quarters filled.
I have one of the larger houses on Drinax. I think we'll be okay.
Fine.
But thank you.
Mm-hmm. If you are looking or find Val,
It's much appreciated, Severance. I will absolutely, whenever I visit. And he would reach back and sort of put a hand on Terrica, like,
Terrica will just like not say anything. He'll just be like,
maybe find her.
I think I have a lot to do there. I could redecorate, get it ready for its rightful. I'm just subletting. I'll get it ready for you.
Yeah, there we go.
Whenever you return.
Perfect. Can it fit a walker? No, I'm kidding.
If that's even like a throwaway line, Val would lean forward and say, "I will make it fit."
Yeah, right.
and Terrica won't say anything,
the
but they'll just
spirit.
like, they'll look over at Quint like, better there than here.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the look of you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Admiral,
So-
I'll have the technicians ready to put the med bay in and give you an auto dock whenever you get to Torpal. And if I can, I will arrange for maybe some additional assistance.
Of course. So, just so I am clear, the captain has left, up and gone, married the
Yes.
prince.
Yes. Legally.
Okay, allegedly. And now, our master surgeon and our beloved pilot and I assume our steward, Sue is also probably...
I have an idea for that.
Yes, Sue cannot actually be separated from Val. It would, if we jump out of space... Sue told me this. If we were
Yeah.
to jump and Sue was not with Val, it would kill Sue. So, yes.
All right.
Severance,
And maybe
change
something
is
for Val.
hard.
I don't know if it goes both ways.
It's one of those things that when it happens, it feels like the end of the world, but the reality is it's the start of a new one. This has happened so many times in my life, just standing in the bar and staring and realizing that I had a ship, and for the first time in my life, I could get away from my mother. That I didn't have to live this spy master life and I could have my own world, but it meant leaving everything. It meant leaving everything I'd ever known. And it gave me years of beautiful time out in space. And then there was another shift and another change, and everything ended horribly. And I lost my ship and my crew. But then I came back here and I found all of this and all of you. Loss is hard. And change is awful. But just because something is lost or changing doesn't mean something new and beautiful isn't right around the corner. And I get it. I understand losing family.
I know I haven't been the best leader. And I know that I haven't been the best... leader. But...
I don't know, Severance. I don't know if I agree with that,
Well,
actually.
it means a lot that your words mean a lot, but I'm a man of numbers and data. And the data and the pattern in front of me I'm seeing is my hand of 7 is now a hand of 3.
You were wrong about Quint. Remember that? You accused Quint of being a spy, and you were proven wrong. So
Quint,
you're
were
right.
you a spy?
No. Well,
Quint? I'm asking Quint.
Not actively. I was, yes, used to be.
Ta-da.
you accused Quint of being a current spy. I can't believe we're about to slice this
Active
sliver
spy.
of a...
You started
active.
it.
I listen. Okay, listen.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yes, go on. Yes, I was wrong about that.
You were wrong about that.
Allegedly.
And you are here trying to tell me right now that you weren't a good leader. And sure, 6 months ago, you weren't. But Severance, I saw what you did, and I heard about what you did when you got back to Drinax. I heard people talking about everything that you've done since you've gotten here. And I saw how those people treated you down on Drinax. They were talking about everything that you did to literally save Drinax. Something about a gate, I forget what it was, but they were sure that bunches of them would have been dead without you. And I know for a fact that there were multiple times in the last week where I thought the world was about to fall apart. And you looked at me and you knew I needed a boost. And you offered support. And if that isn't leadership, what is? So don't you tell me you're not a leader. You can tell me you don't believe it for yourself, but my data is showing something different right now. So, fight me.
I admit defeat.
Wow, that was the easiest argument I've ever had with you.
Well, it's lined with compliments. I'll take it.
That's what I had to do this whole time? This whole time? I could have just won by complimenting you? Oh my God. You insufferable man. Leader, insufferable man. Both of those are accurate.
Right.
I'm going to miss you. So, you know. Come back to Drinax every once in a while and say hi.
Of course. I'll have to come back more often now. Have to keep you all updated on our adventures with Wesley.
Yeah. You can send notes too. You don't have to, just wait.
Right, but sending notes is almost just like traveling ourselves. The note has to travel the same speed that we are. We might as well just...
Send a lot of confidential information in the notes, potentially. And...
Well, don't do... We can use a codex.
We have a
Elaine.
spy. Why would we need a codex?
Former spy. And she literally just allied with my house to avoid getting out of that. So they don't have to do that if they don't want to.
Once a spy, always a spy.
Oh my God, insufferable man.
At that point, Val pushes up off of the console of the Gambler, and he, again, his fingers linger just a bit. And he would step over to Severence and have a few things I have to take care of before I depart, Admiral. If you ever need me, call.
I will.
There's something else that Val wants to say. And he just hugs Severance.
Oh.
If that's okay.
Oh, now it's okay, but it wasn't. Now he's asking for consent.
Shit changes, man.
Of course, yes. I go in for an embrace as well. But not. It's not too much. It's a little. He's so avoidant. It's crazy. But he's just. Yes. It's like, I don't know if this has completely hit him, and it probably will, like, when they take off later. It'll just be like,
yeah.
He'll have to disassociate and figure out what the hell happened. But yeah, he does have a loose hug. He usually doesn't. Usually he's one that's always just like,
right.
Thank you. But he tries.
Val won't let it linger long enough to make it any more like breach, like the too much awkward. So right before
the al dente of awkward.
Right. So right before he pulls away, though, he would say, if you ever need anything, just step into my room. And then he would get ready to quit the bridge, and he would stop parallel to Quint. He's not looking at Quint. He is looking beyond Quint.
Is going, and this is when he murders me.
Lights on fire.
And he simply nods and says, Quint.
Val.
And without looking, he reaches into his pocket something that he's carried on him for most of this series, and he holds up a trigger that has a safety and a button, and he hands it to you and says, if you arm this, it'll blow up your arm.
I'm just not looking at them.
You had that on you the whole time?
Thank you very much.
Yes, I did. And he leaves.
I
God.
very carefully hold this because I don't want to accidentally before I've examined it. Just like, okay.
Hey, Quint.
Terrica,
Good luck finding yourself.
please don't tell me that you also have something to
God,
blow up my
no.
arm.
Why would I have?
Just,
If
I have to make
would have
sure.
given that to you ages ago.
I'm gonna leave because this is gonna get awkward. If you're gonna give each other things, I'm gonna.
You're awkward.
Uh-huh.
Well, then the only thing worse than that is if he'd responded with "your mom is awkward."
Yeah, that would have been real weird.
Damn it.
Right.
I don't know. A
You will
couple
be
months
very
ago,
gratefully missed.
yeah, I'm gonna miss this place. Gonna miss all of you.
And we will miss you. I foresee much Crush Jones in my future with Wesley.
Probably, yeah. Probably. You will learn and rewatch so much. A couple months ago, you told me you didn't know who you were yet. I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited to find out who that person is.
We're getting there. We're getting there. It's a progress. I've stopped being some things, and I'm starting new things, so I'll get there.
This is how it is, right?
I guess so. I've never really tried much. Never really had the luxury to.
Fair. Anyway, I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. And thank you for vouching for me and
Oh.
on many occasions over the past several months. Different occasions.
You deserved it. You're fantastic. And honestly,
about that.
like, well, if Severance tries to accuse you of being a spy again, just tell him no. It's just apparently flattery works, so just do that.
I did make a note of that, and it's a tactic I am not against trying.
Honestly, yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh, and whoever it is that does end up piloting the Gambler, just make sure she pulls to the left a little bit every once in a while, like when the piston.
A little bit,
yeah, so
especially when you're going above a certain speed.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can just make sure that they just clock for that, the last thing I want is somebody scraping it up like Val did. So she deserves better than that.
Yep. No, that would, yes, we were going to try very hard not to make sure there are any scratches on the Gambler.
Yeah, I will. Oh, I missed that reaction. I'm so bummed. I was looking up here. Oh,
It's just
perfect.
this.
Yeah.
Your mom is awkward.
What the hell?
Got him. Yes.
You're still on. You're
What? Oh,
Whose mom is awkward?
oh, Severence's mom is awkward.
Oh. Okay.
Very awkward. Pray you never
Alright,
meet
then.
her.
So awkward.
Okay, I'm getting off comms. Gonna just be over here in engineering. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Wesley.
All right, Wesley out.
Well, we will be back to visits, and I mean, we do have email and text. That is, if we have communications. It will take a while to get there, but
Yeah.
maybe nothing confidential. Just because, as a former spy, I do not trust that kind of service system most of the time. So.
Former. Insufferable man.
Well, you won't have to suffer him on the daily anymore.
Well, silver linings, I suppose.
I think you'll miss it. Give it a good 4 weeks. You'll be like, life is so sufferable.
Honestly, I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss Wesley. I'm going to miss Kareem and all that Tablasto. Oh, God.
I'd send you with a bottle, but I really only have half a bottle left, and I think I'm going to need it.
No,
The
I
prices
don't
are
need
better
a,
on.
I don't need a Tablasto. I'm very, things flow well. No Tablasto needed.
It's an acquired taste, I understand.
It is. It just sort of feels like, every part of my body is on fire when I take a bite, and that's not really my jam.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll make sure to take lots of pictures, so when we do stop by, we can drop them off and you can live vicariously through Wesley.
That'd be great.
Hey everybody, it's me, Wesley. I just had a thought. So
Yes, what is it, Wesley?
well, when the Elaine's gonna go away, he's gonna come back right to Drinax. So like we could always have the Elaine courier information. We just have to give a
Wesley, I said that earlier. Did you not? Were you not?
No, I just
You
no, I
may
just
not have been there. Yeah,
I think Wesley had left the room by the time you said that.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you, Wesley. What a wonderful idea.
I just then we just give messages back to okay, because it was like a all right, Wesley out. I'm getting off the comms.
Good
right
job.
now.
Good job, Wesley.
Thank you. Great comms etiquette.
Oh, my God.
Wesley out.
He's learning.
Which one?
Both?
Yeah.
One slower than the other.
Terrica will just take a step forward and wrap Quint up in the biggest hug that they just as close and tight as they possibly can. And they'll say,
Quint will give a big old reciprocative hug.
They'll say, thanks for being one of the most amazing friends. Thanks for always speaking the truth to me. Not trying to sugarcoat it or lie or manipulate me, and just letting me know how it is.
Yeah, this whole truth thing is it's difficult some days, but I'm doing my best.
You're doing a great
Thank you
job.
for being a friend. I don't have many of them.
I am your friend. I'm gonna go.
Cool.
Take care of the
Feed the
grebes.
grebes too.
Yeah. And Terrica will leave the bridge. And actually they'll leave the bridge, and then they'll come back on and go, actually, can I take care of the grebes here?
Yes. And
Wesley
I
comes
will
up
leave the
into
bridge and close the sphincter.
Wesley comes up before you could leave and is like, hey, I gotta go back to engineering. If you're gonna go, here. And he takes off this necklace, and it is this necklace that you've seen before, as a matter of fact. And it is this partially broken necklace that almost looks like you don't know what it looks like. If you were other people, you would think it's like kind of a prop propeller, a piece of it. And he's like, this is from Terra. It's from my family, and I figured if you're gonna stay here on Drinax, you should have it so that you could think about me. So here you go.
Terrica looks at Quint, and then they're gonna look back at Wesley, and they're gonna say, Wesley, where did you this is from your family? This is your family necklace? Mm-hmm. For generations through generations.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then
but I figured
Terrica's gonna look over at Quint, and they're gonna say,
yep. And Quint has a look on their face of yeah.
So you should.
I was doing the best I can.
Here you go.
Wesley. Thank you. But I don't want to take something that is yours. And they're going to hand it.
Yeah.
Family?
Yeah.
Yeah. We are family.
So maybe you keep it. It's one of the most important. It's one of the only things I ever got that I was able to keep from my dad, and because I couldn't keep nothing else. And when I left, I made sure I took it. He said it comes all the way from Terra. It's one of the only things I've got left of my dad, and I figured since you're basically my dad now that I could give it back to you and you could hold it for me till we saw each other again. It's like you know.
You know what, Wesley? I will. Quint, I need you to stay here for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, and Quint is already standing behind Wesley, like holding up the
Because Terrica's like, you're 110%.
Yeah, because Quint has been wearing it right here, like real close.
So Wesley, like feeling really good about the fact he gave his like precious.
Oh God!
He thinks it's emerald. To Terrica, sort of like nods and like gives one more hug, and then kind of hustles away.
And they give him like the biggest hug. Yeah. And then after he leaves, they look at Quint and they're like, swap it over.
Close the sphincter. Yep. Not saying that it was right, but I did have my reasons. I say as I like undo. It's probably like an intricate series of not like to make sure that it doesn't shift visibly at some point in the day during the acrobatics and stuff. Yeah. Terran Viridian, as you know, I was very much missing my mask and was desperate for any sort of connection when I met you guys.
Oh.
But yeah.
I get it. Now I need to find a reason to give it back to him.
Especially since I think most of you all wanted to kill me when I first came on board, so I was really...
I didn't want to kill you.
Not you. No.
People.
The Harlock, I think, would have stabbed me if the thing ever required. Severence definitely did. Val most assuredly did. Kareen would have at first. You and Wesley were basically the only two at this moment in time who wouldn't have. I needed a connection.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's
all good.
Totally misread Val for the longest time. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure you will work it out. Yeah, I'm gonna just take this emerald though, and
yeah, please
sell it. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, after all, you did pay for it.
We can give this one to Wesley because he thinks that one is emerald too. I did pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll. I'll give it back to
you.
you.
But if you did happen to stumble upon some Terran Viridian, just if you pick it up, I could reimburse you. Because I am going to have to give that mask back at some point.
Oh, I see. Well, if I do, I'll keep it for you for sure.
It's probably highly unlikely, but just keep your eyes peeled.
You never know. I mean, hopefully we'll get more.
It'll feel like that, and I point at Wesley's necklace.
Can Terrica take a minute to they'll take a minute to understand what the feeling of that viridian is, whatever that harmonic frequency is.
Which for you should feel a lot like Val.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It does. It does. It feels like home.
It feels a lot like Val. It feels like home, the planet. More like Terra, but that's fine. They're related.
Terra, because home is my home planet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now we'll let you go feed the creeps.
Thanks.
And I put the emerald one back in the place. I'll go and close the sphincter behind me.
And I think Terrica just they run their hands over every inch of the bridge. And they very quietly say goodbye to the gambler with just tears streaming down their face as they stare out the viewport.
Can I get a roll,
each of
please?
the consoles. Mm-hmm. What kind of roll would you like?
Can I get a roll your psionic strength and your true liege?
Oh, okay.
With
You
a boon,
sure
of
can.
course.
Oh.
Uh-huh. And as you say goodbye to the gambler, the ship itself thrums a little bit because embedded into the ship's hull is a massive piece of Viridian. And you can hear, "You are not leaving. You are coming home." And it is perhaps even coming out of your own vocal cords in the way that it had done once before. But you are connected to this ship as you are to the planet.
Terrica will quietly kiss the spot where their hand would typically rest right before they'd push the thrust. And then they'll walk off the bridge as the doors just sort of the sphincters behind them.
I think as the door is like closing and they walk through the door, I kind of want to be there as the door opens. And I want to have my arms out for a hug.
I think Terrica just sort of like falls into Severence and buries their face, and it's just like all of these racking sobs.
Puts his hand on your head, comforts you. That's it. I think.
Can I play cinematographer?
Yes.
As they are sitting there, silhouetted in the transference between the bridge to the hallway, father and daughter embracing, the iris closes.
And the next thing we see is the gambler being cleared to take off. Sitting at the pilot seat is Quint. Sitting at the captain's chair is Severance. Sitting in the turret is Malcolm Brace. Down in the engine room is Wesley. This smaller crew, sort of a skeleton crew, are there and ready as the ship is cleared to take off. And it leaves the floating palace and begins to soar off towards the jump point, headed towards Torpal, where perhaps they can pick up their crew members they've lost, and perhaps even some new ones. And that is where we end our session for tonight.
I'd just like to add one tiny thing.
Please.
As we're pulling out of the dry off of the floating palace, Quint's just quietly mumbling, "Don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up, Terrica is watching."
Can I get a dex piloting roll, please?
Terrica is absolutely
I know I could
watching,
get by without
the way.
a dex piloting roll,
No,
but I knew we had to have that because I knew.
Yep.
I knew.
No boon, because it's not the little Camelin Viper. Yep, you're good.
7. I'm gonna put all my luck into it because
No,
we're about to end the session. So it's an extra.
You only need a 4 to get off it's very routine.
But I'm going to put all my luck onto it because it's the end of session.
Quint's going for stylish points here.
Yeah.
Because it's the
I have
last
to
roll
make
of the
sure Terrica
game.
believes that they put the ship in good hands.
Immediate loop.
So that'll be a 12. Yeah. It'll be a 12
Phenomenal.
total.
It is
Put all that luck.
beautiful.
Yeah.
The ship, of course, is gonna have to drop off some greaves.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great segue. I'd like to add one thing.
Please.
Severance. You guys are probably already in jump space. You would hear something from Val's room.
I bet he's feeding the greaves again. I shouldn't go in there.
when you would open up the iris, you would see your favorite grebe is in there with food, because Val picked up on the fact that you were incredibly hesitant to get rid of these grebes that were therapy animals, essentially. So he made note of your favorite and he put it into his room. And when the iris opens, you would see a blue outlined Val sitting there, sort of talking to the grebe, and he would stand up and say, "Admiral, do you need any medical treatment? You have your own boy named Sue."
We should call him Lav because it's Val backwards.
Lav.
Hey!
That's right. There's Lav. Oh, gosh. Oh, wow. I love that.
Thank you, everybody. This was the end of episode 6 of The Gamblers. We need to go around and have everybody give their outros, and then I'll read out any messages we might have, and then I'll give mine. So, let us begin. First off, Cord. Mythematic. Can you say who you are, where we can find you, and then give some love? Especially
Yes.
to Ari.
Of course. Wow. Hi, everybody. I'm Mythematic. You can follow me on Things Mythematic. I am a role player. I'm a storyteller. I am a blacksmith. Yeah. I'm in a game on Table Story on Tuesdays. It's great. Come watch it. Or just come back here and watch. It doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks. But my love tonight, it was really great. Like, it was a great episode. They always are, but I mean, like, I'm wearing white for a reason. And it is the Drinaxian way of, like, mourning, or and yeah, I just
Deep heart mourning.
Yeah, deep heart mourning, and it's not necessarily like mourning; it's more just like a send off. Yeah, this has been such an amazing show to play with you, Ari, and to learn so much from your performing. You are such an inspiration to me, and to a lot of others who are able to watch the show and see a character living and loving their place in the role, or in the show and in the story. And I wish to bring a fraction of what you bring to every week, every performance. And if I'm ever in Seattle, I'm definitely coming to a show.
I sincerely hope you come say hi.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But it's been so great getting to know you and playing with you. Yeah, I just I a lot like Severance. I'm also avoidant, so it's probably going to hit me later. But yeah, earlier in this week, when I read the message that, like, this may be the last episode for you, I was like, oh, what? Okay. And there's a lot of processing. But yeah, I mean, chapters and stuff, pages turn, and chapters are written as the pages turn. And sometimes a chapter needs to close for one to open. So that's all. You're great. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your character. And thank you for the 1,000% you put in every action, every movement, every ad-libbed, unscripted line that felt scripted, because you are a gem to work with and to watch and to be inspired by. So thank you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Chat, to give you all some background, because I'm realizing I
Surprise.
didn't say this in my intro. Unfortunately, due to like a series of unforeseen circumstances, I have to step away. So I am very thankful to this crew for rolling with the shift and the change, and helping us make sure that Terrica was taken care of really well. So thank you so much. And I'll say more later when it's my turn. But I realized, like,
Surprise!
I
You
hadn't
didn't have any
said
context.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the context, guys.
Yeah. I didn't know how to. I was like, I will. But yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, that was.
No.
I outed. I outed.
I meant to say it at the
your outing.
top. Well, I meant to say it at the top, and then I forgot. And then thank you, all of the best of luck and the support. I'm gonna just take a minute.
Yeah, we're having you go last. Lindy, you are next. Who are you? Where can we find you? And then give some love.
Hi, 'tis I, Lindy. Love, I'm just gonna give a little pow, rapid fire. I loved Severance like a dance mom during the interview with like the coaching from the distance. It killed me. I loved it. I loved Val. Val was really good this episode. I'm gonna miss him. I also find it highly ironic that as soon as we get a mid bay, Val is not here. I find that highly ironic. And the transfer of the explosive arm blow up trigger. That's great. And then of course, Ari, yeah. Terrica, love. I love how they handled the interview. I loved how, I know it's an out of character decision to leave, but I loved how you were able to make it make sense for your character to have them stay here and assume that position. And not just out of a sense of responsibility, but actually like there was a lot of cool reasons. And I thought that was great. It didn't feel forced or weird. It felt smooth. And I know a part of that's due to Trooper's excellent GM planning, but also due to you improving it on the fly, like we do here in tabletop games. So I thought that was excellent. Quint's gonna miss their PC friend, the friend that's not an NPC on the ship. But I was so curious to see who Greg brings in next, I think. So we will miss Terrica deeply, but it will bring me pleasant thoughts to have Terrica and Val doing good work on Drinax and Asim in the background while we're doing stuff. And I know we will all miss your presence in our weekly lives. So, but if you want me in your weekly life, that's a terrible segue. You can find me online at laughlovelindy.
I love it.
Twitch,
it's beautiful.
YouTube, Bluesky, Instagram, wherever. Let's see, this week, this is a busy week. Sunday, Praxagorth has my Warriors channel for some Greyhawk. Monday, Aliens. We had to miss one earlier this week because of work, but we should be on for this Monday, and it's all going to be terrible. Tuesday, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, where things are just as terrible, but in a different way, because they're not checking for traps going through a dungeon. Pretty intentionally so, and it's kind of hilarious. So if you want to see people go to 0 HP from traps, check that one out. And then on Wednesday, for Tracks of Terror Call of Cthulhu, last session, they all got eaten by T-Rexes. It was a TPK. It was great. This next session, and then they got started right back to the loop when they got put into prehistoric times. So how many times will they be eaten by dinosaurs? I don't know. We'll find out. And then of course here next week for Traveler. That's me.
Thank you. Next up is my buddy Greg. Greg, who are you? Where can people find you? And then give some love.
Yeah, this is always tough for me, guys. It's every time I leave a show or I'm in a long show and somebody leaves, it's tough and it shouldn't be. I need to grow up a little bit, but I can't. I'm just a fucking old gray-haired kid. So, I love these players so very much. to put it into perspective, I am Wesley. I am the one that looks and says, no, no, no. Everyone stay together. This is how it works. We all stay together. Nothing changes. Life doesn't happen. This is just in this moment, the present. And that's what I meant when Val was saying that. And it's just tough because, when you dance with a partner for a lot and it's a really good song, and you just fucking love it, man. And you just want to keep dancing. And sometimes you can't. So, I just wanted to say, I love all of you so very much. Chat, you are all absolutely fantastic. You are supporters in the best possible use of that word. Ari, I will miss you very much. Shit, come on, man. Get your shit together. You used to do this professionally. You don't have to fucking cry all the time.
Culk.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
And I'm back.
I'm back.
It has been an absolute honor to just be able to be in a scene with you, let alone play opposite you. I share the same sentiments that Cord said, that if there is ever a moment that I feel like I've even captured a fraction of what you have brought to your character, I feel like I have done, the work of the stage. I feel like the muses have moved, and it has been something utterly fascinating, utterly precious, and I will not forget it. And I hope one day that we can dance again.
And Ari, who are you? Where can we find you? And then give some love.
Hi. 1 second.
By the way, we will be seeing Greg next week on The Gamblers. Which character? Greg and I will have to figure that one out somewhere offline. Find out where that goes. But yes.
Hi, I'm Ari _ventures. God, I thought I was going to be so much cooler. I thought I could hold it together way better.
You are so cool. Please.
Oh man, so much love. Just I'm going to start with chat. You guys are amazing. It's an absolute delight to see you in there with comments and thoughts and ideas. I'm gonna miss you all. I hope that you continue to do what you need to be there for each other, to take care of yourselves, especially with the way the world is. It's important that we do both of those things. Self-care and care for each other is important. Sorry, Stormbender. I'm trying. Okay. And this crew, these players, talking about me giving 1,000, and honestly, just like, holy cow. The first couple of years, I specifically remember going on a hike with a friend, and as we were climbing up the hill, I'm talking about travelers the whole way up this freaking hill. And I remember there being a point where I just start raving about the fact that I'm learning so much from everybody at the table. From Greg's ability to just like do a cinematic moment or say a single sentence that just boom, emotion nails it in this gorgeous, fantastic way. It's honestly, it's a gift. And I know you've spent years and years developing that, but it's like there's all the work to develop, and then there's also just like raw gifted talent. And I think you've got both in spades, my friend. And it's been an absolute honor to get to play with you. And Lindy, in that same like climb up the hill, well, not that same one, it was actually a couple ones later. And I was talking about your character, when your character was like coming on board, and just the like sheer art of your ability to transition between the different I'm trying to say languages, but that's not the word, that's not the right word there. Accents, yeah. Just your ability to like translate between the different accents, and then the range that I've seen you play, not just with like Quint, but then you played a whole different other character for the Cold and the Cruel, right? And it's this, I'm just in awe with your ability to act. Chameleon is the word that came to mind there really for a second though, right? And also just the lewdness, because this whole session started with us talking about caulk and
construction caulk.
Construction caulk.
Construction caulk. Caulk gun. Yeah.
You know, that you
Lest
just
anyone
like
misinterpret.
use with your hands.
That's right, and that's a GIF. All right, somebody GIF that. GIF that.
Somebody GIF that. It is fantastic. It's been a delight to play with you this entire time. And Cord, there were other times climbing those hills where it would be like, oh my God, okay, so Severence did this, and I'm trying to figure out how Terrica would respond because I think they're pissed, but they're also like this kind of whatever. And it's, you just give these gorgeous offers that are so totally in line with who Severence is, the complexity of who Severence is, right? And I see all of your acting chops coming to play time and time again, you know, your ability to just sink into Severence's voice, and which is so very different from your own, while making these decisions and choices that offer so much to the other players at the table. Honestly, man, like, holy shit, thank you. You know, like, the stuff I learned from all of you guys is just phenomenal. It really is. And Trooper, seeing you just like pour your heart and soul into building every inch of this world, you know, the hours and hours and hours that we spent figuring out Drinax's colors and how this would work versus how that would work, and what this piece would be versus what that piece would be. And, you know, there is all of this care and attention to detail and drive that you put into building these worlds. And it's inspiring. It really is. So thank you for the opportunity to play with all of you. Y'all are fucking amazing. And that means you too, chat. And I'm going to shut up now.
Before I do my outros, of course, I have to read the messages from chat. There may be messages here that people need to know about. I think so, at least. So, we have, and all of these messages go to support the channel, so thank you. And by the channel, I mean these players. I just send it right on over to them, so thank you. We have gotten 100 bits from Atomica, who says, I am here. Atomica, who is always here for us. Thank you, Atomica. We got a $10 tip from Rissa, who is one of our mods and one of my dear friends, and Call of Cthulhu GM, who says, thanks for making me cry. I wish I can contribute more. That $10 is everything. Thank you. And we also got a $250 tip from Anonymous. Anomionus. An Anomionus. Thank you. No message, though. I'm going to assume the message is something like, this cast is great, and thank you so much, and we love you. I assume that is the message. Who's going to pay for chat therapy? That's a very good question. And I am Trooper SJP, and I have been the GM. So, today is what, Friday? You will not see me tomorrow because I'm giving a talk at Harvard on Tuesday and I have to write it. So I'm going to be writing the entire time. So no stream for
I'm
me.
Trooper. I'm talking at Harvard.
No, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm talking at Harvard. I'll be at Harvard talking.
No, I have to shoot it, so I don't want to be embarrassing. But next week,
That's awesome.
of course,
Anyone could go to Harvard and talk. It's like you just stand on the
it's not a
side.
big deal. Just whatever. But next week, of course, will be my regular stream schedule. But next week on Friday will be the Gamblers. We have 3 more episodes left in this season. I'm gonna see if I can find Greg and get him to hang out with me so we can make his character. Maybe we'll record it. Who knows? You don't know. We'll find out. But we're gonna get a new character. And I love Traveler character creation, so
Yeah, that'll be fun. Have an idea for a character? Get fucked.
because you'll get what you get, and then you'll like it. Yep, and
Figure this one out.
So, yeah, and that's me. That's where you can find me, right? The places. And now I have to give some love.
No, you don't.
Lindy. Oh, I do. I have to give love. Lindy. I would like to say thank you for the necklace because that was a present that I had to go and give the necklace. Thank you. Cord, thank you for the father-child talk that we've been waiting for this whole time. Thank you. Greg, thank you for being true to Val and giving us a Val who's grown so much and who's in the moment who's like, you know what? I'm going to stay here with the person that I love more than anything. And that was beautiful. Also, so much that has come to this moment. You never know how to do things, but everything that has happened so far mattered, right? In the sense that who Val is and who Terrica is and everything that everybody has done means that in some ways they're the perfect people to be right here in this moment and to stay on Drinax to help actually save the reaches, right? It all makes sense in a way that is only true because you all have played your characters so well and so importantly. And so I want to thank all 3 of you for giving gifts to Terrica. Thank you. And to Ari. I have known you for 9 years, and we have been gaming together and knowing each other for a very long time. And from the very beginning, I said, I must have Ari in my show way back in Night Witches, because having seen you perform, I thought to myself, wow, this is someone who, this person is amazing. This is someone who can act, but can also be a player, right? Some people can improv, but can't do rules. Some people can do rules, but they cannot improv. And you are a full package. And people have said it before, but you act with your face. If acting is reacting, even when you're not speaking, you are present. You are always present. And you give gifts to every single other person that shares a space with you. You are generous. You are talented. You are thoughtful. And you are a geek and a nerd. You are the biggest nerd. I swear to all things. It has been, when I was going to cast the Traveler, the Gamblers, I knew I was like, I need to have Ari in this show as well. I want to have one of my very best friends on the show with me, somebody I trust to share a table with, somebody who will make me feel safe at the table. And the time I've had where you have DM'd me and said, but what about this thing? What about this color thing? Or what about this plot? All of the time has been give me such joy. And it will be very sad not to have you at the table, because you make every table you're at better. And you make me a better GM. And it has been an honor to serve with you. And you have, made my life better. And you've made everything else better as well. So I want to say thank you for the time that you've given. I know that, it takes up time, and you have given generously of your time to all of us at this table, and it is very much appreciated. Thank you for changing my life for the better. And I will say that you all made some very good choices, lots of good choices, and not just today, but all throughout. And I'm really excited to find out how all of that will play itself out. I hope I'll be allowed to DM you and say, okay, what would Val and Terrica do about this situation? And you've had any thoughts you could share. So thank you for being one of the best people to share a table with. Ben, I will never, ever, ever forget that. So thank you. And to Chad, thank you for being here and supporting us. And thank you for being on this journey with us. And next week, we will see what our gamblers do. There'll be someone waiting for them at Torpal, maybe one or two people, and maybe one of those people might be in jail. But I wouldn't worry about it too much, because some people like to stab people with knives, and maybe this is not a planet to stab anybody with anything. But you guys will find out next week, I think. Thank you, everybody. And take care of yourselves.
Plot
And
twist, they're both.
Everybody's in jail. Don't stab people on Torpal. They don't like it. Thank you, everybody. And we will catch you on the flip side. Bye, everyone.